Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Before we get to the show, just want to remind you guys about some exciting things. Live shows. Chicago, Illinois, December 14th at Lincoln Hall. Get your tickets at lh-st.com. Please do that. Come out and see us there. It's going to be so much fun. Both shows, Small Town Murder and Crime and Sports.
Yes.
Come see one or both of them.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun. Also, Boston at Laugh Boston, February the 18th. Again, Small Town Murder and Crime and Sports. Both shows, one night. Laugh Boston. Get your tickets at laughboston.com. And then a special stand-up show.
So
with
good.
The two of us, the Jimmies, James and Jimmy, and Dan Cummins as the headliner.
Dan Cummins!
In Detroit.
Michigan.
February the 16th. That is a stand-up show. Get your tickets now. And if that show sells fast, guess what, guys? We're going to add a late show, and it's going to be a special kind of a podcast with the three of us on it. It's going to be amazing. Guys, get your tickets for one or all. Travel around the country. We don't care. Treat us like the Grateful Dead. Come see us, guys, please.
Now let's get this show going.
Hello, and welcome to Crime and Sports. Yay is a bullseye this week, Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Westman.
Thank you so much for joining us. Crime and Sports, episode 93.
Unbelievable.
We are pushing toward 100 very, very quickly.
So close.
By the way, 100th episode is going to be a special one. We're going to do some special stuff. This is going to be a special case.
Okay.
And just like we did for our year anniversary, it's going to be a special case. And we're going to have, of course...
Second anniversary. Second annual.
Second annual Scummy Awards,
Yes,
obviously,
sir.
for the biggest scumbags we can find. And if you've listened to those last year on the Jared Wyatt episode 53, we had a goddamn good time. And
It was good.
You're going to want the Scummies to come back again. They're a lot of fun, so we're going to do that. It's good stuff. I had to make music for it and everything, so please listen to that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your iTunes reviews this week.
Amazing.
They mean the world to us, and you kept them coming in, and you guys keep coming through for us week after week after week. Thank you. It's not us, it's iTunes and their weird, funky algorithm that weighs heavily on these reviews.
Funky algorithm.
We don't. It's not for our ego. We're not like, we just really want them to write reviews so we can feel better about ourselves. It's just for business. So please, if you could just give us 5 stars, tell us you're following instructions, following directions. It doesn't really matter at all. It's like we said, for business purposes only. If you want to do even more, if you're an amazing person,
sometimes you do,
has to do more, like a list of producers that we have later, fine people. You can do that by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports.
Do that.
patreon.com/crimeinsports. Or you can go to PayPal to make a one-time donation and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, to do that.
That's it.
And every penny, every dime, every cent is more than appreciated.
Somebody sent us a dime this week.
I saw that with the note. Then they sent us a regular, but they sent us a dime saying every dime counts. And I went, shit, it does. I swear to God, I was not mad at that at all.
I guarantee you he thought he was going to get us and like one of us was going to be angry.
No fucking way.
I was thrilled with the dime, brother.
We'll fucking take it. There's a lot of people. If everybody gave a dime, that'd be fantastic. I don't care.
God.
Like $1. Honestly, guys, thank you for everything.
If we had $1 a person, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
We'd only have to do this for a week and you guys would never hear from us again.
That's not true at all, but thank you. No, honestly, guys, thank you. You guys keep this show going, and everything you do for us is appreciated. Right down to if you can't afford to do anything, if you don't have the wherewithal to sign into iTunes, you can't figure that out.
You're listening.
If you're spreading the word, if you're telling a friend, that's amazing even.
You're listening. That's fucking
Thank you, guys,
huge.
for being part of the crime and sports movement, as we've been saying here. We cannot do any of this without you guys. Like, we'll shovel the coal, but someone has to put the coal there for us to shovel. If there's
to be some.
There's no coal to shovel. Right. There's no fire. So
you
guys
are not just
everything.
the people that are delivering the wheelbarrows of coal. You're out there farming it and mining it and then bringing it to us. It's incredible.
Well, where you can bring those all your loads of coal is to Chicago on December 14th at Lincoln Hall for live crime and sports. It's going to be amazing. Also live Small Town Murder episode right after that. Or Crime and Sports is the early show. Small Town Murder is the late show.
Right.
Go to lh-st.com, like it said in the opening, to get your tickets today. Also, Detroit stand-up show with Dan Cummins on February the 16th.
It's going to be bananas.
In Boston, Massachusetts.
The Magic Bag in Detroit. It's such a cool venue.
It is. It looks like an awesome venue. And Laugh Boston in Boston, another cool venue. Laugh Boston will be there February 18th. Yep. Both podcasts, not a stand-up show, both podcasts that day. So get your tickets today. But never mind all of that shit, Jimmy. Never mind all of that.
Okay.
We have craziness today. Shocker, right?
Yeah.
That we have lunacy here. Yeah. Unlike last week, which was completely sane, right?
Cousins is a dick.
That was a complete
what an asshole. The amount of tweets I got about meth and assholes was unbelievable.
Oh my! Well, I mean, when you're a famous person and you get busted in a public place with not a little, with a bunch of meth up your ass, I mean, that's going to come up. It's got to come up. It's going to happen.
It's a good amount.
That's a good amount. He had a nice night ahead of him. We'll say
nice knot. It makes a knot. It's a good knot.
Yeah,
he's fucking wet. He had to push his fingers in there.
What we're saying is, you got to really want it.
You got
to have that much meth up your ass. It's a real, you gotta want that shit, man. You gotta want it bad.
You gotta want it up your ass.
Let's talk about a fellow. Let's talk about a young man who I don't think has ever been busted with anything up his ass.
Okay.
All over other parts of his body, but not up his ass.
Okay.
Let's talk about Marcus Leland Bullard. Ever hear of Marcus Bullard?
Marcus Bullard.
By any chance? Probably not.
As you were saying the name, I was
drawing a blank?
Yeah, you said Marcus, and I'm like, I know a couple.
Okay.
I was hoping it was Vic.
No.
Then we get to Leland, and I'm like, that ain't Marcus Vic's middle name.
This is a much better story than Marcus Vic, first of all. Fuck
Marcus Vic is a fuck. He's going to be one of these.
Oh, yeah.
For
someday,
sure.
This guy has matured and blossomed into the type of guy that we want to talk about.
Is he a football player?
No, he's a basketball player, actually. Never played in the NBA.
Oh.
Big-time college basketball, Final Four.
Oh.
And could have played in the NBA, possibly, if he wasn't a complete and utter fucking menace to society.
His middle name is Leland.
Leland. He's such a fuck up that professional sports in America wouldn't even take him in.
Really?
They were like, that's how bad of a fuck up. They're like, you know what? No.
Wait a minute.
Not
professional sports in America, is he from somewhere else?
No,
okay.
I'm just saying.
He's an American.
Yeah, we don't have standards is what I'm getting at. And we even said that's too much.
Fuck that guy.
This guy's too much of a jackass. We can't have him on the team, can we? What an idiot. So Marcus Bullard, he's born November 19th, 1974.
Okay.
He is from Mississippi. He is from southern Mississippi.
Okay.
He is a very, very Mississippi guy.
Yeah.
He is from the Gulf Coast town of Long Beach, Mississippi.
Okay.
Which, when you think of Long Beach, you think of California first, then you think of Long Island as a Long Beach. Very nice out there on the tip. And then you think of Long Beach, Mississippi, which is the...
Mississippi's a coast state, so
it's
got like
it's
got those like fingers.
It's on the Gulf. There's
so
a lot of
the longest
humidity.
finger is the Long Beach.
Well, I guess so. A lot of humidity. Mosquitoes, I assume, are just abound there. It's everywhere.
Mumbling white folks.
This town, it's about 15,000 people in this town. It's kind of a smaller town.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you one little, here's a kind of like we're doing Small Town Murder for a second, because I had to look up the town just to see where he's from, to see if he's from like a shit place, a nice place. It's kind of a middle of the road. It's become a tourist attraction, kind of an area, because it's right on the beach.
Yeah.
So they put some high rises on the beach.
Oh,
and
no.
People buy condos and shit like that. And it's turned into like,
perfect
kind of
for when hurricanes come through.
Well, it's a nice little douche gathering.
Yeah.
You could have a douchey little fire
a
on the
vantage
beach.
point to watch the fucking destruction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's perfect. You can see everybody run for their lives and try to scoop their children up in their arms. Long Beach, though, wasn't always a tourist town.
Okay.
You know how it started, Jimmy?
No.
Oil? That's not oil.
Of course not.
Not
Why
oil.
would I do
I was going to say oil, not the railroad.
No.
I will give you 300 guesses and you won't guess it. That's the thing. I could let you. That was a trick.
Yeah.
I could give you 300 guesses and you would never get it.
It's not oil. It's not the railroad, and it's not
Pick the
farming.
most random thing you can find.
Rice.
Well, Nope. It began completely based around the radish industry.
Wow.
Radishes. Okay. This is where radishes came from.
So probably every radish I've ever eaten is probably from
from this place. It was based on radishes. It was like a logging place.
When was the last time you ate a radish?
Fucking never. They're gross. One time when I was 6, I accidentally took a bite of one that someone slipped a chunk of in a salad. And I went, what is that hot, nasty, disgusting thing? It's got the consistency of a raw potato. The fuck am I eating?
Yeah, why is this crunchy?
This is awful, and it tastes terrible. No,
they're awful. Nobody likes them, right?
No one under the age of 60 likes radishes. I'm sorry.
And the people that over 60, it's just because their taste buds are gone. They don't know. They can't taste that.
The only people who like radishes grew up during the Depression, and they just ate. All I had for dinner was a handful of radishes, and they got used to them.
It reminds me of my childhood.
They got used to it. That's it. You can get used to anything. It was known as, quote, the radish capital of the world, which is what you want it to be known for.
Those shits are probably in horseradish sauce, correct?
I have no.
You have to assume. I don't know what's in horseradish. I don't.
I don't think actual radish is probably.
Is fucking
horseradish
vile.
is its own thing.
It's terrible.
It's its own thing. Okay. Horseradish. It's not something. It's not a horse and a radish mixed together. It's its own plant.
It's not like horse milk.
No, it's not at all like horse milk, and it's just mixed with. Yeah, no, it's not at all horse milk. Chunky horse milk. Yeah. I feel bad for those horse nipples that shit's coming out.
Oh God,
it's painful.
They're fire.
Painful.
But so I'm assuming that something to do with radishes made a horseradish. Then, right? It's got to.
No.
We're making our own.
No. It's just because it's spicy and radishes are spicy. Okay. I think is why it's called horseradish. I think
we're creating our own agriculture.
You're creating a completely new crop of radish
horseradishes.
Of actual horse radishes. It's a radish
grown out of horse shit.
Let's say a little horse sticking up out of the ground, a little horse head.
I'm just saying that sauce is fucking horrific. That sauce is so terrible. I hate that stuff. It's disgusting. Why would you want to eat something that you take a bite and now your nose burns? Why is it making my nose burn?
That's what cocktail sauce is. It's just mixed with ketchup and shit. Yeah, that's the spicy white chunks in cocktail sauce. That's horseradish.
Why do you have spicy white chunks in there? I don't have spicy white chunks in my cocktail sauce. I don't know.
What are you eating mild hot? You get the McCormick's extra hot. Everybody right now. When you go to the grocery store, if you need a cocktail sauce, McCormick's extra hot.
No.
Right there.
I get whatever the fucking that Blue Label one is. And I don't know what it is.
No. McCormick's extra hot. It's 50 cents more and it's delicious. Do that and wash it down with a fine original New York seltzer, which I'm enjoying right now. I have a peach one and it's delicious. And
peach.
And if they'd like to send us original New York seltzer, we will happily take it.
Tweet at those people.
Yes.
Because New York seltzer is the shit.
The best, and it's my favorite. And it keeps for a long day of recording. We record for 4 or 5 hours. It keeps my throat going for this. Without that, we wouldn't have the show.
Yeah,
so please.
Without that, James would be whispering the rest of the show.
Don't, guys, it's terrible. Because we do small town murder first.
Right.
So anyway, this town, it was known especially for the cultivation of the long red radish, the long red variety, which apparently it says it was a beer hall staple in the northern states.
What?
In the early 1900s. People I don't know if they were pickled
just pick
or just
them up
on the
and
table.
fucking like a pickle and they eat them.
I guess if you popped a radish in your mouth, you'd want something to drink afterwards.
Fuck yeah,
that's a shit peanut right there. That's a shit fucking Chex Mix they got out on the bar. What do you got there? Chex Mix, it's radishes. Oh, thanks.
Munch this
pretzels?
Shit, and you will. I guarantee you're drinking a lot of beer to get that taste out of your mouth.
They went to pretzels after this, so it's a little safer. In 1921, a bumper crop. I'm sorry we're going over this. This is funny as shit to me that there's radishes. They had too many radishes in 21, and 300 trainloads of radishes went to the northern states, and it was just too many goddamn radishes.
They couldn't take it.
Radish prices plummeted, and eventually the long red radishes fell into disfavor. It says for the small little round radishes that you see everywhere now, and this place only grew the other ones, and it was fucked. So. It's had to recover since then.
Radishes are no good anymore because we got these tiny little ones.
In between the radishes in the 30s going out of favor and, now, it's been pretty much nothing has happened. It's just in between the radishes and tourism, they had no industry whatsoever. That's Long Beach, but it's not a very downtrodden area now.
Okay.
And it was a little worse when he was growing up in the 70s. Bullard, obviously everything was a little worse in the 70s, but now it's tourist. It's mostly white.
Yeah.
It's about average income there, a lot of tourists, that sort of thing. every account we can hear of, Bullard was raised in a terrible environment. Okay. Big shocker here as we're going to get into his story. But it's funny because he has, and I did this on purpose, a lot of times we'll do, I try to do very different stories back to back. You know what I mean? Like this guy, whatever, different crimes, different types of people, just totally spinning on its head.
Entirely different sport.
Yes.
Entirely different group of class even, because that kid was like super rich.
That's what I mean.
Now we're going to fucking broke Mississippi.
And that's what I'm saying. And I did this on purpose because his story mirrors Ben Cousins' story so much. Not professionally, because Ben Cousins gets in a little earlier and kind of flies under the radar before they realize he's a fucking nudnik and they kick him out. But it mirrors his crimes. They're just a little bit different. He's like the poor. Like, this is one where you look at and it's like it is what it is. It's how it's a tough thing. So I wanted to just kind of mirror it. They're the same type of people raised way far away from each other, completely
entirely different points of the world.
One's black, one's white, one's fucking, poor, one's rich, one's famous dad, one isn't. So every advantage, no advantages, the whole deal.
Yet
but
they still wind up the same.
You can wind up equal jerk-offs. It's exactly amazing.
Fantastic.
It's one person close to him described his environment, quote, as bad as anything you could ever imagine.
Okay.
So that's not a great endorsement of your childhood right there. Highly unstable,
also, that
says.
kind of lends to the like, depends on who you are. You know what I mean? Because I can imagine some pretty horrible shit. And it was worse than that. The kid's still alive.
He's still alive, but I mean, a lot of drugs, a lot of violence, and not a good area. A lot of he grew up in a shit area of this town too. So,
but also, I'm
not great.
I'm more aware of what fucking horrible is.
True.
A lot of people are unaware that
there's
a lot of people that do you watch Live PD? Watch that fucking show. Tell me there's a lot of people out there living great.
This was a person close to him, so I imagine they've also seen shit.
Okay,
and he's shit among shit. I think is what they're saying.
I think they're talking to people on Live PD and being like, "This is how we live. This is."
He has the least amount of radishes of anyone here.
Yes,
that's what he said. There's the least
we have
amount
no
of
radishes.
He has none. They have some over there. He had no radishes. He grew up
with a horrible life.
Without a radish to his name. His parents were Lloyd Bullard. So at least he's not a junior. But guess what? His older brother is.
Really?
His older brother is Lloyd Jr.
There's one peppered in somewhere.
We will sure find out what happens.
Unbelievable.
We'll find out what happens to Lloyd Jr. because he ends up worse off than Marcus. So not terrific here. Don't name your kid goddamn Junior right there. And Pauline Thomas is his mother. Okay. They were separated before he was born, around the time he was born. They were never together. Brought up by his grandmother, sort of, kind of. Shuttled around between whoever would watch him for a while. His grandmother, he had an Uncle Clyde he lived with. He had everybody was poor as shit.
I love that name.
Just dirt farming radish people.
Jesus.
Just poor people, very poor, a lot of drugs, a lot of violence in the area, just very shit downtrodden.
In the mud.
A lot of mud, a lot of huts. It's a blues song come to life. It's an old blues song come to life with street violence mixed in there.
A little bit of Cab Mo.
A little bit here. So, he lives with Uncle Clyde a little. That's kind of...
that's such a cool name.
Clyde is a cool fucking name. You think
anybody named Clyde just knows shit, you know what I mean? And they speak in like metaphor. They're just fucking great guys.
It is. Clyde is a good name.
It's a great...
Yeah, I don't know why
I've never heard of somebody that was really a bad guy named Clyde. Have you? Oh, Bonnie and Clyde. Never mind.
Bonnie
there are
and Clyde.
Shitbags. There are shitbags.
There's Clyde Drexler is fantastic.
He's the fucking greatest.
Drexler.
The worst hairline, the greatest guy.
I love that he just looked like a 46-year-old math teacher while he was
22.
Just dominating. Just averaging 24 a game. Up
dunking
for the
on
MVP.
people.
Dunking, soaring through the air with like mid-calf high socks. Jesus
the
Christ.
The worst shorts.
Clyde was not looking to...
No.
Clyde did not look fly, we'll just say. Not at all here. What ends up happening with him is obviously he's getting into some fuckery here. He's
living
young,
with his Uncle Clyde?
Living with his Uncle Clyde, living with his grandmother, living with kind of whoever would take him in, an aunt here, whoever. His parents weren't real with it. Sometimes his mom. Fuck. It was a mess. He grew up in a real mess. And I guess one place he'd go would be worse than the other.
I give a lot of people, the people that can make it out of that, I give them so much credit because that is not easy.
And he had the chance. This is what's so sad here. He gets, and you'll see what I'm saying about it. He gets past this and he gets to a point of unlimited opportunity, and then he goes, no, No.
I want that.
I will take that unlimited opportunity that's been given to me against all odds. Against all odds, I'm going to take it right to the bathroom and flush it directly down the toilet. And I'm going to flush again to make sure none of it floats back to the surface. Fuck this.
I want to go back to no radishes.
I like jail.
Right.
So, yeah.
See, but the people, when... Okay, I'm going to make a quick social economical point.
Oh, boy, here we go.
It's going to be weird.
An Andrew Jackson moment here. Locked and loaded,
I just want to point out to people when they deny white privilege, this is what they're talking about. That you probably didn't grow up like this. Granted,
Granted, there's a lot of shit for white people, too.
Like me. I grew up like this.
I was going to say, I've seen the wild, wonderful whites of West Virginia. You go, well, yeah, that's the same thing.
It took me a lot of fucking hard work to become a functioning member of this society.
Yeah, a lot of therapist hours.
Right. Oh Christ, dear Christ! Lots of blood, legit blood, sweat, tears, and so many tears lying on a couch.
Yeah, I'm just a mess and not ready to talk about it with anybody, including psychiatrists, listeners, you, or the general public at all. But yeah, a mess.
The point
you're saying.
That's just my point. Is that this is fucking brutal. I can't imagine.
No,
to be a black guy in the South coming from this stuff. It's
true too.
You shouldn't succeed.
The 70s are different.
Yeah.
It's different. When I was a kid, and I've told you about this once before. When I was a kid, my grandmother, not racist grandma. There's two grandmas. Okay, I have racist grandma.
Cold cuts grandma.
Who said that she doesn't need cold cuts that bad, if you guys remember that story, which was interesting. Don't worry, alive, senile as fuck, and not voting, so don't worry about her. She's just a abhorrent racist. To the point where you're like, God. Like, racists would be like, all right, that's enough. You know what I mean? Let's take it down a notch, lady. Calm down. Jesus. So anyway, there's her, and then there is my from Italy grandma.
Survivor grandma.
There's Survivor, there's badass grandma. She's from Italy. And I grew up a lot in her house, and I, a lot, because my parents were younger and, off doing whatever. So I'd be at her house a lot, and I remember complaining to her that I was in trouble, and my mother took the TV out of my room.
Oh, shit.
For like a day.
Brutal.
I was fucking pissed, and I went to my grandmother thinking if I complained and told a sob story to her, she'd yell at my mom and say, give the kid his TV.
Manipulation tactics.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That's what I mean. So trust me, there's a point here. So I go to my grandmother, and I'm like, can you believe this? I'm like, they took my TV away, and it stinks because I've always been an insomniac.
WrestleMania's on.
So I wake up in the middle of the night, and I have nothing to watch because I sit there and blah, blah, blah. And she takes a beat, and I think she's going to tell me I'll take care of it. You don't worry. And she tells me, thick Italian accent. She came here to the United States in 1947. If you know anything about history, that means her whole childhood was when she was 16. Yeah. So her whole childhood was World War II, basically. Right. And Italy was occupied by the Germans for a long time during that, okay? So her childhood sucked. And I told her this, and I told her the TV, and I said I wanted to watch wrestling on Saturday morning or whatever. And she looked at me and she said, when I was your age, and I'm going to do an accent. I know it's hacky, but I've been doing my grandmother since I was 4. So she said, "Ma Jimmy, when I was your age," he said, "me and my sisters, we used to hide from the Nazi soldiers so they wouldn't rape us." And I went, okay, I guess I don't need that TV that fucking bad.
So no TV?
So no TV that bad. That puts some shit into perspective for me, you know what I mean? And I think people that think they have it shitty, they should look at perspective and go, this is shitty, what Marcus Bullard has going on. It's not Nazi soldiers trying to rape him, but who knows what else is going on. It's a little different, but,
It's fucking incredible.
You should have seen the look on my face when I was fucking 11 and I heard that.
So they don't rape us.
So they don't rape us. And she's just smiling, and I'm like, what? She's like, well, yeah, they rape you. You hide in the hay or whatever. Right. And I'm like, in the fields. I'm like, you're hiding in the fields from rape? Jesus Christ, this is horrible.
I guess Hulk Hogan's not that important.
And then she goes, sometimes they kill you. Like, there's that too. So it wasn't just rape. I was like, oh, as long as it's not just rape, then yeah, obviously I hide in the field. I was like, what am I hearing? That was the first time I heard about that shit.
I'm a bit young for this, Grandma.
Yeah, this is a bit much. But she used to tell me stories about getting beaten, but they were comedy stories by getting beaten by her parents, crazy shit. Different time, different. But anyway, so Marcus, unlike me or my grandmother or you, was very good at basketball.
Okay.
And his friends tried to convince him to his friends tried to convince him to not be a drug dealer and to play basketball. Yeah. Like, look, man, we suck. Like,
we're terrible
people.
We're
fucked.
We have no options.
No options. We have to do this. Try to play basketball.
You've got
and
a
don't
talent.
Do this.
Run with it.
Yes, and he knew that basketball was his talent, but also he knew that his friends had like money and things like that, and like clothes and just things that you want when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's a young kid, but he still wants it. He goes to Long Beach High School. Okay. In 1991, mind you, he is not even 16 years old yet, by the way. He has 2 daughters that year.
Holy shit.
Not 1 daughter. 2 daughters in 1991.
In a 12-month stretch, he put 2 children on this earth.
2 different young female
16 years
human
old.
beings.
Holy Christ.
He produced on his own.
Unbelievable.
At like 15 and 16 years old.
Unbelievable.
Being like a freshman in high school.
Jesus.
So, that's fucking nuts. So, while he's doing this, he's in high school and he's trying to play basketball, but he has 2 daughters and everybody's making a bunch of money, so he's got to sell drugs.
For sure.
You got to sell drugs while you play ball and make some money, and he starts selling drugs. He says that some days he made up to $1,500.
Yeah.
Some days $300-$400, but He's
killing it.
He's killing it. He's crushing it, especially for there. That's more money than any of these fucking people have at the time in his neighborhood. That must have been a good deal. And he's got 2
mouths to feed.
He's got 2 mouths to feed. He's got 2 mouths to feed, and he's still interested in what's on Nickelodeon later tonight. So this is a problem. This is fucking weird. December 20th, 1992, I found a box score.
Real quick, this is where the similarities between him and I end.
Yes, yeah. You weren't getting laid at 4:15, no less impregnating anyone.
Not just not getting laid, but not getting laid to the point of like getting the opportunity to have 2 children.
2.
That's a lot of sex.
2 children.
That's a lot.
That's more sex.
Because you're not knocking them up with the first 2 times you have sex.
He's poor though. The more poor you are, the more the higher your sperm count. I feel like is the way it works.
You're banging out kids all day long.
I really feel like that.
Yeah.
I swear to Christ, your income is directly proportional to your sperm count. I don't know if a higher sperm count means you can't make more money, or if you make more money, your sperm count drops.
Very similar to the size of your property and the size of your pet. Like people with giant ass houses have like toy version of a fucking poodle, or a chihuahua or whatever. Whereas people in a fucking trailer got a Great Dane in their backyard. It's like, why do you have that?
Why?
What are you doing?
I've never known anybody who's like, those broke couples that are like super broke and they're always like trying to make ends meet.
Sure.
I've never heard of any of them quote trying to have children,
right?
But they all have a shitload of children.
A brood
it
of
just
them.
happens, Whereas I hear people I know with money are always having children and having treatments and things, and that costs $10,000 a shot, and you're like, holy fuck,
why are you doing that?
Good Lord, kids are like stray cats. They're everywhere. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't. I feel bad if you really want one, but it's like, fuck. I don't know. Give some of your shit away, and then your sperm count will go right up.
It just goes up.
Eggs will start being more fertile.
Stop paying your fucking credit card bill.
Your uterus will be a wonderland if you stop paying your credit card bill. So I found a box
don't
score.
Listen to us, by
no,
the way.
don't do that at all.
We're
complete idiots. December 20th, 1992, I found a box score, actually, from a high school game in southern Mississippi.
How the fuck did you find that?
It was not easy.
No.
Let's just say that. It was in a newspaper, and I really had to look. And
Crime and Sports. Gmail.com.
Patreon.com/crime and sports. For me at 4 o'clock in the morning finding this shit. So I saw they played Harrison Central High, and Bullard scored 27 points.
Okay.
They lost 94-93.
Wow.
But he scored 27.
And it was a buzzer beater that won that game for
Probably.
him. Yeah.
He's 6'3", 200 pounds, and a really nasty point guard.
At 16 years old.
When he's full grown.
Oh, okay.
He's that.
All right,
So
all right.
He's built stocky, though.
Okay.
He's one of these guys that's got thick bones. He's a stocky-looking dude. He's built stocky. Everybody says he's built like a linebacker.
Okay.
Like he's that type of dude.
He's like a taller Nate, what's that Nate guy? The little guy that could dunk? Nate Robinson. Yeah. Taller than him, but like that.
But he's like a thick dude. He's a point guard, good ball handler, controls the offense, that sort of thing.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, he's skinny, though, Isaiah Thomas.
The new one? The new guy?
Oh, no.
That
father was a skinny little shit.
The guy that's in there now
he's thick.
Yeah,
all
he's
those guys
muscular.
are on HGH like a fucking bastard. None of them are thick. They're all jacked like crazy.
It makes amazing dunks.
It does make
Keep
amazing
it going.
dunks.
Stop with the drug testing.
That's true. Basketball, I just would rather them just not do because they don't need it.
I don't know.
What I mean? It just makes them have more injuries, I feel like.
Fucking LeBron's arms? It's insanity.
It makes, you know what? It makes them be able to play longer. So let's just say that. If you want to see LeBron for 3 more years, then let him do HGH. Never mind. I bow to the HGH. Is the
side effect of that shit hair loss? I'd like to know that.
No.
On the head?
It depends
because
on what you're taking.
His hairline is fucked. It's garbage.
There's 400 different things you can take. It depends on what you're taking. Some things kill your fertility. Some things boost your fertility. Some things make you lose hair. Some things make you grow hair. Some things, give you tits. Some things don't. It depends on what you do.
I saw the pictures of him at the Halloween party dressed as It, the new It. That was LeBron, by the way, that picture that we shared. And he picked the perfect costume because the hairline, all he had to do was paint some hair on. Yeah, he has horrible hair. The worst.
So, he's scoring 27 in a game.
In high school.
He's a high school star. Yeah. He's doing well. He's got 2 kids to take care of. He's a very busy guy.
Yeah.
He's got to play the game. He's got drugs to sell afterwards. As a matter of fact, on April 1st, 1993, he's very busy. As a matter of fact, he's busy selling crack cocaine to an undercover cop.
Of course he is.
That's not good.
No.
Not considered one of the best things you can do for your recruiting for college.
Right.
You're not like anybody who's got a crack conviction we can bring in here.
That won't get you a state championship.
It's going to be tough. Get
you state charges.
And he's charged, as a matter of fact, with possession of cocaine with intent to distribute.
Yeah.
So they're trying to bang him hard on this, too.
As a dealer.
They're trying to fuck him real nice here. It ends up later on being plea bargain to simple possession because it's his first, real big offense like this.
Yeah.
In the exchange for probation, he gets for that, and he pleads guilty to the lesser charge and for probation. And in that probation, too, he's not allowed to carry a firearm at all. So keep that in mind for later. As a high school senior, because that was just end of his junior year, but his senior year, this is all going on. It doesn't end up getting taken care of in court till after basketball's over in his senior year.
Oh, that's
which
convenient.
Is funny. I sense I see silver behind this. Do you see some silver?
Oh, it's glistening.
I see a silvery man
it's
walking
very
around
sparkly.
going, maybe we could push this back. Maybe a silvery man in a small town that maybe knew the prosecutor from wherever and they had lunch together. And he said, hey, maybe you could push that one back a few months.
Wait a little bit.
I know the kids can't be selling crack cocaine like they're all the kids with their crack cocaine. It's the rage nowadays.
Everywhere.
It's all over. But, can we just push this one back a little because we got to play Harrison Central next week.
We got a trophy to win.
He drops 24. So anyway, he drops a lot because in his high school senior year, he averages 36 points a game.
Holy shit.
Smoking. I mean, that is just killing everybody.
In high school, that game was 90 points. That's very rare. They don't score 90.
Yeah, you have to have 2 good players that just dominate everything.
2 guys that drop 36.
Guys that average 36 in high school. I mean, that's a guy, clearly he's on the next level. Yeah. Clearly he's a college player, and he's playing amongst a bunch of children who are doing this for extracurricular.
And he can dunk, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he's nasty. Yeah. He's athletic. He's built for this, and they're not.
Right.
So 1993, while this is going on, he has a son, too.
Oh, fuck.
Hey,
what?
You know what? He's almost done with high school.
Oh, my God.
He's almost done. Why can't he have 3 kids?
3.
What? He's almost done. He's got high school. God. He's got this locked down. 36 points a game.
I am 36 years old. I have 2 kids. If my wife told me that she was pregnant tomorrow, I might think about suicide again.
That's what I mean.
I want nothing to do with 3 kids.
Well,
no.
He's like 17 years old.
That is crazy.
With a 36 point a game average and a crack cocaine sale possessions conviction. So he's really growing up fast.
Holy shit.
Let's just say.
This is bananas.
He's crammed everything I've ever done, plus being really good at basketball into 17 years. Very impressive. And throw another kid on top, because I only have 2.
One.
I don't have 3. So, he has a son. Also that season, he is dismissed from the team for disciplinary reasons.
Oh, Christ.
If you're averaging 36 points a game
You're that
in
important.
A small high school, how bad do you have to fuck up to get kicked off the team?
Worse than having 3 kids.
You have to knock up the coach's daughter. You have to.
Yeah, that has to be the coach's daughter.
And it can't even be consensual. Like 36 a game, he's going to overlook consensual.
He got her pregnant against her will.
I know. I'm always finding booze in her room. I know she's fucking loose out there going around. Not his fault.
Right.
But fuck that. That's like he forced himself on your daughter and knocked her up. That's the only way that could possibly happen, averaging 36 points a game. He had charges pushed back for this guy.
Right.
No, I draw the line.
Something's really bad.
Fucked his daughter hard.
For sure.
Against her will.
Absolutely.
Has to be. So he's dismissed. August of 94, the cocaine charge comes to a head.
In front of him.
In front of him, yeah. He walked in on it.
In the showers.
He walked in and his daughter was going, please stop. That was when he walked in.
Oh, Christ, we're making rape jokes.
No, we're not making rape jokes. Okay.
What have we done?
We need to clarify right now. We need to stop. This is not a rape joke.
No, it's not.
This is
a disciplinary action joke.
We're making fun of the coach and his fucking...
And how much they love their fucking athlete.
Thank you. We're making fun of the coach and the fact that you can fuck up so bad and not get dismissed, and the fact that he did get dismissed. Holy shit, it must have been terrible.
It had to be crazy.
Maybe we went a little far. That happens. I apologize.
We maybe went a little bit far.
We don't condone rape of any kind
at any point
in the world. So sorry about that. We apologize.
We had to clarify.
That was terrible. So he's sentenced here for the cocaine charge to 3 years probation.
Yeah.
So that's a good amount of probation.
Yeah, but that's a lucky fucking. That's a cushy little
pled
sentence.
Down. Yeah, he pled. That's a plea deal here. Yeah. He's supposed to report twice a month to a parole officer. That's a lot of reporting. And also, this forbids him, like we said, from carrying a weapon of any kind.
Yeah. And there's likely going to be some drug tests coming through, too.
I would assume that's the parole. I'm assuming you got to go drop piss, as they'd say.
Yeah.
You know, like when Dennis Wise is out on parole in The Wire and they want him to do cocaine. He's like, sorry, I got to drop piss. And they're like, you think we all don't have to drop piss, motherfucker? Yeah, sort this. And then they go see the old guy who's got the vials of urine in his coat from preschoolers that they collect. That's clean piss.
How do you get preschooler piss?
I have no idea, but it sounds like something super gross. And there's a weird old man in a trench coat with like 20 vials of preschooler piss in it that sells it to you if you're on parole and you like to do cocaine while you're staking out a guy that you're going to shoot later on.
What is going on in Baltimore?
I'm telling you. Watch The Wire and you'll find out. God damn it. So.
Good Christ.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
And now back to the show.
Bullard Bullard in high school his totals here, and this is, he got dismissed and he missed a part of the season. So 2,695 total points in high school, which is a shitload. He was named All-State twice, which is great. He holds the Long Beach high school records for points, for rebounds with 933, assists with 846, and steals with 283.
Everything.
He's the best player that ever played there, hands down.
Wow.
He leads them in everything except blocks.
Does he lead Mississippi State all
no,
together?
This is just that high school.
Just that high school. But does he have any records in the state of Mississippi?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No, not that were shown on his deal. I didn't look up the Mississippi numbers and compare them, but I didn't.
I wouldn't do it either.
No,
Fuck that.
No one.
There's
didn't
probably somebody better.
Mississippi State record. Over the next few months, his parole officer, Constance Taylor, we'll hear from her again later, said that Bullard did not show up for his scheduled meetings for 8 months.
8 months.
8 months.
That's
16 meetings. Exactly. That's a lot of meetings to miss.
Constance, how do you not go after him after, I don't know, number 2?
No shit.
Number 1, I mean, you could call him and be like, hey, you missed your meeting. Yeah. Number 2, be like, hey, we're sending the cops to come.
There's a warrant for your arrest now.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to jail for the next three years.
But in this state, with when you're a basketball player, and when you're having, your coach likes you, and also too when you get recruited by Mississippi State.
Oh Christ!
I think things might fall by the wayside, possibly. And Coach Williams here, who is of Mississippi State, who is as silver-haired and middle-aged as they fucking come in both appearance and action, silver-haired middle-aged white man to the extreme. He says at first that nobody in Long Beach told Mississippi State staff about his drug arrest.
Oh, we didn't know.
We didn't even know he got arrested for drugs. How would we know?
Because you're recruiting him, you fuckface.
When you
don't ask
people,
questions.
Basketball teams have 12 fucking guys on them. You find out shit about those guys.
You only need 3 questions to find out if they're worth a fuck.
That's it.
Ever been arrested?
He just got busted for coke, that guy. You can go ask people in the town. You know him? Oh, yeah, the kid who got busted for selling coke to a cop? Yeah, that guy, we know. Oh, all right, never mind. Moving on to the next kid.
We're Long Beach. This is a tiny community.
Yep.
Everybody knows he's a nudnik.
That's everybody. He's described by coaches as, quote, having the body of a linebacker, like we said, and such durability that he almost never came off the floor.
Wow.
He's got I don't know if he's got a lot of cocaine pumping through his system, maybe.
He's playing the whole game.
He's playing the whole game. Dante Jones, who ended up playing pro, he was drafted in the first round that year, played for the Knicks, bounced around the league a little bit. He was one of their big stars this year for Mississippi State. He said, quote, he was probably the toughest guy on our team. He brought it every day. You knew in practice that Bull was going to be your number one competition.
Bull is his nickname.
They called him Bull because he's like a fucking bull, and it's Bullard. So there you go.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So it makes sense. So they call him Bull, and he was an effort player, a tough son of a bitch, a stocky guy, very physical. Lots of stories about him, like in basketball. If you're not a basketball fan, they set a screen, which is let's say you have the ball and a guy's guarding you. A guy on your team is going to stand there while you kind of run around him and you try to block the guy who's blocking you, if that makes any sense, who's trying to guard you with the guy. They said he would just run through screens and give guys concussions.
Wow.
Just knock guys out with running through screens.
That's
awesome. Just lower his shoulder and blow your ass away.
I love it.
Which is great. Maybe not in practice. You want to be concussing your own teammates. Maybe go, in the game, I would have knocked you down. But now it's fine. Be aware of that. So anyway, he goes on to play for Mississippi State, which is a big university.
We had a nudnik from there before, didn't we?
I believe we did.
Or was it Ole Miss?
It was Ole Miss who had Jim Dunaway, the football player. It was Ole Miss. It wasn't Mississippi
Or maybe
State.
killed his wife.
Yeah, he fucking killed his wife. He killed his fucking wife. Definitely killed his wife. Definitely. So 94-95 season, big-time college basketball, Division I. This isn't some, horse shit.
This is NCAA. This is playing for the fucking...
This is the real deal.
You're playing for the tournament
You're
in March.
on ESPN at 2 in the morning.
Right.
This is the real fucking deal here. You're on ESPN 7 at 2 in the morning. This is where you want to be. So he plays in 30 games this season, 5.4 points a game, because he's a freshman. He's coming off the bench, 2.2 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 0.8 steals per game. Not a lot of sports in this show, by the way. It's very, very few and far between, fleeting. There's going to be a couple seasons of this, and then on to
bigger and
the
better
police
things.
blotter. So, and we'll mix that in with this too. Don't worry. It's you don't get much in this story without crime coming out. The team that year goes 22-8.
That's great.
Which is fantastic. It's good enough to make the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
If you're not a basketball fan, March Madness with the brackets.
It matters.
What everyone in your office is doing in March, that's what we're talking about now.
Gotcha.
He's in that. They're the number 5 seed in the West.
Wow.
So that's not bad at all.
That's great.
And 5 seeds are known to get upset by the 12 seeds a lot, but not Not this particular team. Mississippi State, they also have Eric Dampier on that.
Oh,
on this
he was
team,
great.
Who came into the NBA. They had Dampier, they had Dante Jones, and they had Bullard, who was their point guard.
I don't know why I don't know Dante.
I don't know. He wasn't very good.
Was he on the team with Hubert Humphreys?
He was he got drafted, I want to say 97. Late 90s Knicks after the post-strike. Okay. He played in those post-strike years
He played in when I fucking gave up on the bullshit.
Everybody kind of was shaky on the NBA. So they're number 5 seed in the West. They beat number 12 seed Santa Clara, where Steve Nash is from. And this is, I believe, before Steve Nash got drafted. So I believe Steve Nash was the point guard of that Santa Clara team. I'm pretty sure.
Year?
This was 94, 95.
Okay, you were saying 97 was the other guy.
No, this is 94, 95. This is when Steve Nash was playing here. So Bullard and Nash were probably at some point guarding each other because they're both point guards too. So that's interesting. So he's guarding a future NBA MVP here. So they beat Santa Clara 75-67 in round 1. Round 2, they play number 4 seed Utah. So number 4 and a 5 seed. They beat Utah 78-64.
I wonder who was on that team.
So dispatch of them pretty. Was Keith Van Horn, or was he already in the NBA
I don't know.
by then?
I can't think of anybody from Utah, matter of fact.
I want to say Keith Van Horn was a Utah guy, wasn't he? Big, goofy white guy. Played for fucking everybody because he was just he was like the poor man's Christian Laettner, which isn't saying a lot. They were in round 3, they have to play the number 1 seed UCLA team from that year. And then it goes to shit. And they lose 86-67. They get pummeled pretty good in that one. And they don't go all the way to the Sweet 16 or anything like that. But for Mississippi State, they're not a basketball powerhouse. For them to, beat 2 teams and go 2 rounds in, and especially to beat a seed that was higher than them in Utah, why not? That's a decent. And they're a young team. They're locked and loaded for next season. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and by the way, Van Horn, Utah, 94-97. Boom. So he would have been on that team.
That's right. So he played. Van Horn was nasty in college. By the way,
he was ugly as shit. Too.
Oh yeah, he was vicious in college.
He looks like a fucking big lanky Opie.
He is. That's exactly what he is.
What
a big
terrible
lanky
looking man.
So he is, man. He got worse he got worse and haggard as he got older.
That's a guy that everybody says men age well. Some don't.
Not ginger men.
No.
Ginger men age terribly. They fall apart. Sorry, redhead guys. I know we got a lot of Scottish, English, Irish listeners, but you guys get to be about 50. You look like somebody exhumed you.
Also, just so you know, sperm banks don't take your sperm. That's a fact.
No, they don't want you.
They don't want you.
No, there's a special little dumpster they put in out back. Not even with the other dumpster with the other sperm.
No,
they have a special
They tell
one.
you we'll send you a check for this semen if it gets picked, and it never gets picked because they throw that shit in the trash.
We don't want it.
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants your ginger seed. So 95-96 season. He hasn't gotten in trouble in a couple of years. That's a start. That's good. He becomes a starting point guard.
Okay.
His team to run now. Starting point guard, you're the quarterback of the team.
Yeah.
So and he runs the floor.
Got a big C on your chest?
He runs that fucking floor, man, like crazy. He plays in 34 games. 12.1 points a game for a point guard in college. That's damn good. 3.9 rebounds.
A point guard at all. Point guards don't score. That's not your
college
job.
Back then, especially with a couple of big scorers like Dampier and Jones in there. And 3.9 rebounds a game.
That's unbelievable.
For a point guard, because that's how thick he is. He'll follow that shot. He'll knock people out of the way. 5.1 assists per game.
That's great.
Solid. And 1.5 steals a game.
Great.
So, I mean, that's your point guard. Mm-hmm. That is nasty right there. For these 2 seasons, his conduct is, quote, exemplary, is what the coach says. But it wasn't quite exemplary behind the scenes. Yeah. Let's find out what was bubbling behind the scenes in their own words.
Oh, great.
Let's do this. In their own words, quote, the things that I was doing, drinking, staying out late, not handling my business in class, just a lot of little things adding up to become something big. I was headed down the wrong path. Everybody saw it, but I didn't see it.
He didn't see it.
He did not see it. And he didn't see it.
They rarely see their own fuckery.
No, they don't. Later on, they see it. Oh, that path. I don't know what I was thinking.
Later, they look back and go, oh, look where I am.
There was a sign on the beginning of that path. Like it was lit up and everything, and I just kept on walking.
It was the emergency ward when you gave birth to your first child at 15 years old. Well, that's your sign.
Here's the problem with this, and here's why these guys never see this, athlete-wise anyway. I don't know why other people in society in general, but athlete-wise, because let's talk about the 1996 NCAA tournament and why people feel above above the law, for lack of a better term. So they're the number 5 seed in the Southwest in the tournament. Same seed, but they had a better record this year. They faced number 12 Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU, in the first round. Okay. They beat them 58-51. Okay. That sounds like a boring game. Yeah. And low scoring and not that high ahead of a team they should kick the shit out of. Yeah. They play number 13 seed Princeton after that. Some rich, smart kids. Yeah. So they want to thump those assholes.
That's in 97?
This is in 95, 96. This is a 96 NCAA tournament.
Anybody there?
Princeton? No, you're not going to know anybody on Princeton probably. They crushed Princeton 63-41. That's why. They scored 41 points in a full basketball game. That is like a girls' high school score. It's fucking
75-41?
63-41.
That's not very great.
Not good
That's
at all.
That's a boring game.
That's
boring
it's
fun
as
if
shit.
you love Ole Miss.
I guess so, yeah. I was watching them win.
Southern Mississippi. Isn't it Southern Mississippi?
No, this is Mississippi State.
Mississippi State,
yeah,
okay.
This is Mississippi State.
It's not Ole Miss.
No, not Ole Miss. Not Ole Miss. And they get confused for Ole Miss all the time, and it drives them crazy. They were going deep in the tournament, and people were making, go Ole Miss signs and shit, and they're like...
Thanks for being fans, dickheads.
Yeah, there was hats that
Appreciate
were
you, bandwagoners.
It's ridiculous. Sweet 16, they play the number 1 seed Connecticut.
Oh,
now,
boy.
UConn was nasty in the 90s there, and they beat UConn 60-55. Not too fucking shabby, right? That is impressive right there. So now they've beaten 3 teams. They beat the number 1 seed because the first 2 is 12 and 13 seed.
Right.
So you're going, okay, you beat 5 rich white guys in Princeton, big fucking deal, 13 seed. Who cares? Now they beat UConn. Now it's like, whoa, take a step back.
Slow down now.
What are we talking about here? With Connecticut dispatched, they go on, and they're going on to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Final fucking four. Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. And what were they ranked, 16 or 17 or something like that?
They were a 5 seed.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You said that.
In the tournament.
But
still.
in their division.
That's in their conference. Do you mean overall?
Yeah.
What were they? I don't know what their national ranking was.
They weren't ranked number 1, though.
It doesn't matter when you enter the tournament.
Right.
So, they were a 5 seed in their region. So, I mean, they were maybe 20 at best or something like that.
Gotcha.
But, so they're people are starting to get scared of them because no one knew who the hell they were or what anything they were about. They're going to play Syracuse coming up, and they're saying that they think they can beat Syracuse. And Cincinnati coach Bob Huggins, who's raised tons of criminals over in his little organization. Wow. Lots and lots of shit going on there. He says, if they keep playing like this, they can beat anyone. They were just rolling people.
Yeah.
Bullard says, quote, I think it's great that people don't know who we are. We use it as motivation, as you might expect. So he's like, they think we're nothing. So that's the kind of thing here. Us against them. No one thinks, they don't even think we're a school. They think we're Ole Miss. Fuck this. They're pissed off. So March 30th, 1996 is the Final Four game against Syracuse. Syracuse is a number 4 seed. Syracuse is nasty coming in. They're really tough. Bullard has a terrible game.
Really?
Awful game. He was great throughout the postseason too. That's the shame part of it. In the whole tournament, he had 8.6 points a game, 7 assists, and 4.1 rebounds. Yeah. Had a real and known as the engine of the team that whole tournament. The guy has 8 turnovers in this game.
You don't think they game planned to fucking target that man?
That's right, and they did. They got him. He had 8 turnovers, which just killed. I mean, that kid. When you see the score, final score is 77-69.
Yeah.
So that's 8 turnovers worth right there. I mean, that's the difference right there. He was just distraught afterwards.
I'm sure.
He was distraught, but he was mad about it, actually, or he was a stand-up dude about it. He didn't say, the refs cheated me or anything. He said, quote, I a lot of bad decisions on my part. I made some bad choices.
Yeah.
Well,
so, I mean,
you know what?
Summing up your life in that statement.
That's the truth. But you look at that and you go, that's what you want out of your player. It's exactly what you want your player to say. I made some bad choices. Take responsibility for it. We're going to try harder next time.
Is he talking about all those children he has and the drug charges?
He said, a lot of bad decisions on my part. I made 3 bad choices. 3.
4 if you count selling drugs to a cop.
Well, yeah, but the one is really permanent. 3 of them are super permanent. Yeah. That one's gone already. Well, I'm on probation, but keep in mind that
one
probation
can go away. The other 3 don't go away for 18 years.
He ends up this season. He has the 10th most assists in a season in Mississippi State history.
Wow.
With 175. So if you look at Mississippi State basketball records, he's on there.
His name there.
His name is in. It's number 10. It's the bottom of the list, but it's in there. It's in there. Kentucky goes on to beat Syracuse in the final game. That was when they had Antoine Walker and Tony Delk in that whole squad there. Kentucky national champion.
Delk was a little guy, yes?
That was a guard,
Yeah.
And then I believe, 97 was Arizona with Bibby and those guys won next year, I think, after that. So after the season, for the team, it's a tough off season because they lose Dampier and Jones, which are their two big scoring studs. So that's tough when you lose the heart of your Final Four team. They leave after their junior years because NBA's calling.
Money.
They just went and played on TV in front of all the owners. So Mississippi State, you might not get another chance at that. But they have Bullard.
Yeah, they still got Bull.
He's staying behind. The Bull is in the pen. Yeah. He's ready to go.
He's bucking.
He's bucking.
He's got snot drizzling out of his nose.
He's snorting like crazy. He's bucking back and forth, and he's doing this on July 19th, 1996.
Oh, boy.
He's actually doing snorting and going nuts doing bull things at the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity house.
Ah, you asshole.
Which he's a member of.
Yeah, of course
he's a frat member. He's eating crawfish with friends. Yeah. That's a Southern fraternity
Sucking on
right
a
there.
Fucking crawfish head.
Where else on earth would a bunch of fraternity guys be sitting around sucking guts out of shellfish? Honestly, think about that.
They got a table with fucking newspaper on it.
I
do too.
I'll eat the fuck out of those.
But I will not do it in a frat house.
No, but especially when I was 18, I wasn't want to sit around with my friends in a frat house eating crawfish.
Can you imagine all the
newspaper.
dick jokes that are being slung around while they're
terrible,
doing this?
Man.
Just a bunch of assholes.
And there's a few of them are like, team guys. He's like a hot shit basketball player. Team just went to the Final Four. The two big guys left, so he's the star of the team now.
Sucking on crawfish.
On crawfish in the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity house. Nobody can fuck with us until somebody fucks with them. Nobody can.
Are they the boys in blue?
No, worse, another fraternity.
Oh no!
Oh boy, this is like we got a Grease moment here where they're going to have a Thunder Road showdown here. They don't really do that though. They sit and watch as another fraternity members drive up and drive back and forth across their lawn.
Oh, fucking up their grass.
Right?
Bunch of assholes in togas.
Hey, fuck your grass. I mean, this is the type of shit we're doing here now. I'm eating crawfish. They fucked up my grass. Like, this is some silly college shit right here.
And what does he do?
They argue back and forth, obviously. There's a fucking big, huge, There's
a melee of words.
They're screaming and yelling. Bullard... he hears that one of the members of the other fraternity
has a shellfish allergy.
He said, I'm going to get a crawfish, and he started rubbing it all over his face.
Jam it right up his white ass.
That's exactly what happened. Now, Shannon Alexander, he is stout, can eat crawfish all night long, this guy. Shellfish just stirred. Very good.
Flies right through him.
Strong system he's got, I'm telling you. Good constitution on this young man. Bullard said that he hears from one of the other fraternity members that Shannon Alexander had a gun on the other side. So Bullard went to get his gun.
Oh no!
Why not? What wouldn't you do, right? Why would you not go get your gun at that point? Should we do it in their own words?
I'll tell you one reason why. Because you're on parole and aren't allowed to own one.
That's a point. That's a good point. Well, let's find out what happened here. Okay. In their own words, quote. About the same time, a lot of my frats were telling me that one of his frats named Kermit had a pistol. So he's a guy named fucking Kermit. So I went back to my truck and grabbed my pistol and came back up there, and Alexander started talking. And once he swung at me and tried to hit me. My first reaction was to grab the pistol. Once I grabbed it, I hit him twice.
Oh, my God. So he's pistol whipping people.
He's pistol whipping us. It's his fellow student, too. Yeah. What ends up happening, though, when this ended up spilling over into an area where there was a pool party, when all these people came over to see what happened, all they saw was him holding a fucking gun on this guy. They just see an injured man and this guy holding the gun on him talking shit, which is not a good look
at
a pool party. It's a very, very bad look.
Everybody's in togas. That's what I see.
Everyone's in togas with like a cup of beer in their hand. And
one of those red solos, and they're like, what the fuck?
This is way past what this is like. Is this a hazing thing? Is he trying to pledge? Pledging's gotten fucked up. I'm glad I'm a junior. I don't have to do this shit anymore. Wow. Fuck, man. He's bleeding, I think. This is rough. So, he points it at the rival fraternity member. Again, there's all sorts of shit. Bullard says, quote, when 200 people at the pool party came running out, the only thing they saw was me with a gun pointing it at this guy. That's a problem. He said that instead of pulling the trigger, he struck him in the head with the pistol. He said, Jesus Christ, this is so stupid. Quote, at that moment, I think I would have shot him, but I thank God I didn't. That's 5 years mandatory, and Lord knows I can't do no 5 years. Lord knows I can't do no 5 years.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
The old Dave Chappelle bit just rang in my head.
Yeah.
Black guys know no, it's a Burr bit, isn't it? That black people know.
No, it's a Chris Rock bit.
Chris Rock.
Don't do that. That's 5 to 10. Yeah. It's a 55-year-old black guy will jump out from behind some. Don't do that.
They know the bid that
he did, too. I think I would have shot him, but he said, but that's 5 years mandatory. Lord knows I can't do 5 years. Shit, no.
Lord knows.
Lord knows I can't do no 5 years. So then at this point, he's got the gun, and then the other guys, the Kermit's friends show up. Shannon Alexander's friends show up.
Miss Piggy and fucking, was it Fozzie? Is it Fozzie?
Fozzie shows up
and goes
here.
waka waka.
Rolf is back there. So this is all happening. There's about to be a rumble.
Jesus.
We have two rival fraternities, one of which just pistol whipped another guy. Shit is about to get out of hand.
Jim Henson shows up with his hand buried in a fucking puppet's ass.
No shit. Exactly. He's there. What do I miss here? And Bullard pistol whips him.
And there's two guys in a balcony commentating on the whole thing.
Question is, obviously, would you pistol whip Kermit or Jim Henson?
Probably Henson. You have to, right?
You know you'd go to pistol whip Kermit first, though. Then you'd be like, wait a second.
What am I doing?
Hand. What am I doing?
This
is stupid as fuck. So campus police show up.
That was a fun brawl.
That was good. Yeah. Campus police show up just as they're about to have an outsiders, greasers versus socias moment here. While Ralph Macchio recovers from the fire. So this is all happening here. Dante Jones talks about it a little bit, his teammate. He says, quote, I was surprised he got into what he got into, but I could see it happening because he's the type of person who doesn't back down from anything.
Yeah, he's a bull.
So that's the type of guy you want on the court.
Fuck yeah.
But, you
don't want that guy holding a gun.
You don't want him having a gun.
No.
By the way, campus police show up. He fucking takes off.
Of course.
Because he's on parole and he just got caught holding a gun to somebody's head. A warrant is issued for his arrest.
Oh, they already know that he was the guy.
Oh, they 200 people saw it.
Too many at a pool party.
The point guard for the Final Four team. That's the guy.
That was the guy.
You know, the one who was on TV a shitload last March. Yeah, that guy.
We call him the Bull. That's
like 3 months ago, the Bull. That one.
He's a father. He's got kids.
3 of them. Cute kids. Really good. One's excellent. Excellent.
Guy's a goddamn father holding a gun to a guy's head.
Second daughter, finest piano player for a kid that age in the entire world. She's a prodigy. Really.
It's beautiful.
Amazing. Very impressive. So this warrant's obviously, like we said, issued for his arrest. They want to charge him with assault, and it violates his old probation for several reasons, especially the weapon. The weapon's the big one.
Dipshit.
While he's on the lam, they interview the school, and they're like, asking them, and they say, quote, it's highly unlikely that he'll be registered here in the fall.
Yeah.
So
our fucking star point guard has a gun.
He can't be beating people up. But think about what the coach is going to think of that. He just lost 2 of his star players. You think he's going to want him back on the team?
You're goddamn right. He needs him.
Let's find out in a little bit here. But let's get to court first because he has some fun court times here. He's in court September 13th, 1996. He appears before Harrison County Circuit Judge Robert Walker. I love this Robert Walker guy, by the way. Now, the judge hits him pretty good here, and we'll find out why. He missed meetings with the probation officer before, and the judge didn't like that because if you're going to put a guy on probation, you want to know that he has the capability of showing up to these meetings.
Right.
And that's what he's asking for, probation here. So he didn't do any of that. The probation officer came in and testified during a sentencing hearing about this, that he began missing meetings during the 95-96 season.
Right.
When they went to the Final Four, and that he eventually just stopped coming to meetings entirely, like after the tournament and all that, because he's above the law now, goddammit. We made it to the Final Four. The law doesn't count for me anymore. Don't you know that?
He's found white privilege, and he has no idea.
Yeah, cocaine is legal for me now.
Privilege.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's white privilege. You can brush that shit aside. Then that's
Best
just
of luck with your white privilege.
White privilege is you don't get followed around if you're in a store and shit like that. And other things too, but I'm just saying, breaking it down to the most basic. Silver privilege is people will actively go behind the scenes to extricate you from trouble that you've got in all of your own volition.
And not just that, they'll pull people away from following you in that store.
Absolutely. That's the thing,
Silver
man.
privilege is the privilege I want.
Everybody needs silver privilege, man. So he says about this, his excuse is, quote, I was basically caught up in basketball. I was knee-deep in every woman I could find.
No
Are you
doubt.
kidding? You know how many people I impregnated just last spring? It's amazing. It's Christ, I'm going to have a new team, all of my own. He said, quote, I know that's no excuse for missing. And then Williams, his Coach Williams, testified on his behalf.
What?
This is some silver shit here. I quote, I probably was remiss in not making sure Marcus did not go to all of his probation meetings. That was my responsibility.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. He's a 21-year-old guy.
He's an adult.
He's 21 fucking years old and he's on probation for selling crack cocaine. Once you sell an undercover officer crack, you're an adult now as far as being able to make a meeting goes. You know what I mean?
I'll go further.
Purposes,
I'll go further. When you go to a parenting class and they teach you how to not kill a baby, you're an adult now.
He's got 3 kids and a crack conviction. That's an adult.
And the fucking hospital gave him classes how to keep another fucking human alive.
Up for the fucking classes.
You're probably right.
He did not show up for those classes. They gave him the pamphlet. He was like, all right, and he used it to roll a blunt with.
Tried to put him through dad boot camp, and he's like, this looks flammable.
He ripped it up into pieces and packaged small amounts of cocaine with the pamphlet. That's what he did right there.
Yeah, the cop that bought cocaine from him is like, what's this daddy boot camp?
What's this? Oh wow, it's a pamphlet on how to keep your kid alive. You might need that. So I can't believe that Williams testified that it was me.
Yeah.
That's how silver he is. That's silver privilege.
Yeah.
A respected man in the community will go to court for you and say what he did illegal was actually my fault.
I did it.
I realize I'm the coach and respected and I have a lot of shit to worry about and 12 other guys and everything else, but my bad.
I really learned my lesson.
I have an appointment book where I keep everybody's shit straight. Bobby, call your mom. I have that set. Anybody else here? Your grandfather's sick. Make sure you call him.
Hey, and Bull, make sure that you test that milk on your wrist before you give it to your child.
Ricky, have you picked up your dry cleaning? They said 2:00. You should do that. So the judge didn't agree with that.
No,
actually,
I can imagine.
The judge didn't agree with that. The judge said too, quote, after Williams testified, I've received love letters from a lot of nice folks.
Wow.
It appears that at times you can be an ideal role model, he says to Bullard. Bullard said, quote, I was wrong for my actions. I would ask the court, whatever they do decide, to please take it easy on me.
Mm-hmm.
The judge has something else. The judge says, quote, I don't feel sorry for you, Mr. Bullard, because you have received more breaks than one person is entitled to receive. You have no one to blame but yourself. He revoked his probation. And sentenced Bullock to 2 years. Or Bullock? Did I say Bullock?
You said Bullock. It's not Sandra's brother.
No, it's not. Sentences Bullard to 2 years in prison.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he said, "Fuck you."
I'm going to teach you a legit lesson.
Shit. Yeah, and under the state law, though, he must serve only half of this time, but still, it's a year in prison.
That's a full season.
The last words that the judge said to Marcus as he left the courtroom were, "This is beautiful." Quote. Good luck to you, Mr. Bullard. I sincerely mean that. You may go. He said, He said, you, sir, may fuck off, is what he said. You may go is judge for you, sir, may fuck off. I'm sorry.
He Doc Hollidayed him and goes, you may go now.
You may proceed, is what he said.
Proceed, Baba.
Bullard sobbed when he told him this. Bullard was sobbing, and the coach was standing next to him with tears in his eyes, Williams.
Yeah.
That's how silver. He's like, he's taking away my final 4-point card.
I need him.
I need him so bad. He's such a good ball handler. You don't understand. Nobody runs the zone defense like him on the back. He gets the top of the key so well.
He's starting to figure out the triangle.
He gets penetration. Do you understand that?
And now back to the show.
People freaked out.
Yeah.
They were pissed.
Yeah.
His supporters came out of the woodwork.
Especially
silver-haired.
bookies.
Imagine the silver-haired middle-aged white men coming down from the hills. The prosecutor himself recommended that he be placed in a boot camp-style program that includes counseling and drug education. The judge went against the recommendation of the prosecutor and went further.
Told him, go to prison, fucker.
Prosecutor said, we don't think he needs prison time. Let's just rehabilitate him. The judge said, oh, no. Fuck this guy. I feel like Williams tried to influence the situation, and the judge was like, no one's influencing shit. Now he's going to prison. Fuck him. This is spiteful, I feel like. Constance Taylor, the parole officer, was criticized because she filed an affidavit about him missing his probation meeting. So they were like, how dare you? You fucked this up for us. People were mad at her. mad at her. She said, quote, nobody put Marcus in the penitentiary but Marcus. Fair.
That's incredible. Good for Constance.
Super fair. Bullard's high school coach, Bob Cuccaro, he came to court and vouched for a character witness for his goodness. Yeah. He's just a good kid, and he's a great kid, except for when I had to kick him off the team and all that other time when he sold crack to an undercover officer. What part of it was good? Well, he scored 36 points a game. That was good. Fuck, his character includes scoring a lot of points, and that makes it fine. Now, on going to jail, we have a nice in their own words here. This is good stuff here. In their own words, quote, that was the most horrible feeling I ever felt. I really couldn't imagine me going to jail or anything like that. I felt like I didn't have anything worth living for. I didn't want to talk to anyone for a long time. Just stayed to myself in a little two-man cell. Just a lot of thinking. A lot of things running through your mind. Everything you've ever done to put yourself in that situation. Maybe it's not that one big event, but a lot of little things that add up like a lot of pressure on the pipe. Eventually it busts. Mm-hmm. Fair. Yeah. That's actually pretty insightful. I feel like he was forced to go see a prison psychologist, and that's what he came out with out of that, and then released that as a statement. With this doctor, I figured out maybe what's wrong with me.
I'm maybe making a breakthrough, but I'm still probably going to fuck up.
So he's in jail here after 2 fist fights with inmates.
Wow.
He has some fist fights with inmates, which he's a big athletic guy. Fucking prime of his life athlete.
Some people.
Prime of his life athlete. Yeah. I would not want to fight that guy.
Well,
probably.
He's just surviving in prison. That's what he's doing.
Oh yeah. He's got a show. Yeah, and he's a young guy and all that.
Dominate.
So he's transferred to South Mississippi Correctional Institution, which is interesting for him. It's a homecoming of sorts, because that's where his older brother, Lloyd Jr., is serving a 15-year sentence for manslaughter.
Holy shit.
So
Lloyd's a murderer.
A
manslaughterer.
Lloyd slaughtered a man. And that's what happens when you name your kid Junior.
Yeah,
he slaughters a man, and then his little brother ends up in prison, too.
Jesus.
Doom the whole family. That's what happened. They named one kid Lloyd Jr., everybody else is fucked after that. While he was in prison, though, Bullard runs into friends, classmates. Yeah. That's when you know you're from a shit area. Yeah. When you go to prison, you're like, hey, holy fuck.
How you been?
Well, I haven't seen you since fucking science class in the 8th grade. This is amazing. What's up, brother? What the fuck is that? So that's, he's running into friends, classmates.
I'm wearing these bracelets. Obviously not well.
Yeah, he said literally like people who he knew, like they lost touch with, like, hey, it's Junebug again. This is great.
Unbelievable.
So he said all of them knew about him and his career and Mississippi State and everything like that. Yeah, he said, quote, half of them were encouraging me. Keep your head up. Don't let this get you down. Do this time and go out there and pick it up again. Yeah. A lot of them had their chances in life and things like that, but they just wanted me to make it. He said, a lot of like, hey, we're fucked, but you can make it from here, which is actually good, encouraging him. I mean, maybe they're trying to help him out. Maybe he's got some behind-the-scenes shit. Maybe he can work some things out, like an early release. Like maybe he can get a hot shot into the prison, have somebody get killed, and then set up a prison guard to take the rap for it, and then you rat on him and you get released early, like Avon Barksdale on the fucking Wire. It happened. That's right.
Jesus Christ.
Search that guy's car. Avon got out early.
All right.
He was home, goddammit. Lock down that shit. Right. Marlowe's coming. He's coming.
All right. I get it. I'm going to have to watch this shit.
So he says, Bullard says about prison, quote, you had your good guys that you could hang around that were there to do their time and go on with their life. Also, you had some guys who didn't care, wanted to be there, didn't care about nothing. You have that out there. You have that in there. So it really doesn't stop at the penitentiary doors. So he's like, everybody's it's the same shit. There's just more fuck-ups in there here. Yeah. Dante Jones, actually, his ex-teammate, actually talked to him periodically.
Really?
Yeah, he said
kept in touch.
He said that Bullard sounded upbeat, which he's going to just probably sound like, hey, I'm cool, man. Yeah. I mean, you're drafted in the NBA now in the first round. I'm good.
I'm doing okay. I got all my friends from high school here.
It's cool. I know everybody. He said you never know where he was calling from because he's not going to let you know. If something is hurting him, he's not going to let you know it. So he's just trying to keep the exterior.
Except for that part at the beginning when it says you're receiving a call from whatever prison.
Oh, he meant that it's hurting him.
Oh, okay.
Like where he's coming from. Like, you never know where he's calling from. He's not going to let you know. Yeah. I think he meant from us. He's definitely calling from prison because you're paying for it because it's collect, motherfucker. Yeah.
Do you accept the charges? I know exactly where he's calling from.
Jesus. Christ. He went from his two-man cell in the small jail when he's in prison to going into a zone of a prison with 120 inmates and 4 toilets.
Fuck.
Now he's got a lot of other guys' shit all over him.
God.
That's not good. He said, quote, it's just so wide open. There's no telling what somebody might do when you're sleeping.
I just thought of something horrific.
It's one of those big dorms.
Yeah,
it's just
4 toilets for 120 guys. You're talking about.
It's not cells. It's just a shitload of beds in a room. So
it's
anything
just like
can
a
happen.
barracks. And if there's reincarnation, I hope horrible people come back as one of those toilets.
Oh God, can you imagine the shit dropping
That thing
in
is
there?
just flowing all day.
Constantly
25
flushing.
people?
120 inmates.
I know,
toilets.
but you're talking about
25
more
per
toilet.
Yeah, 25 asses per toilet.
Oh God,
that's at least 25 shits a day.
So bad.
And you know, one of these guys is those 3-time-a-day shitters that's constantly going.
That's
and you're like,
one an
Jesus.
hour, man.
There's a line for that thing,
oh
man.
Christ! I hope Nancy Grace comes back as one of those toilets.
She deserves it. That'd be great. I would like to see like her big mouth as the opening too. The big eyes there. I can't stand her.
I want to piss in her mouth.
So he says there's no telling what somebody might do when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
You've kind of got to sleep with one eye open and one eye closed. You just try to stay on the other side with the guys that are really focused on looking forward and getting out. Fair enough.
Oh, my God.
He tutored GED students while he was there in prison and worked in the kitchen and the gym. So, I mean, he's probably one of the few guys there that's actually had a couple years of college,
You were
I would
in
think.
the Final Four, man.
Like last year.
And now you're talking about I sleep with one eye open.
And teaching GED.
Jesus
so one of my
Christ.
GED students doesn't stab
knife me in the middle of the fucking
shank
night.
Me
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, he said he stayed clear. He says he stayed clear of trouble except for one incident when he was playing basketball, which this is in prison, not the jail, where he had 2 fights. He said another inmate, quote, was mad because I was beating his team real bad. He punched me, then I wiped him out. I bet. Yeah, especially when he's in basketball mode. He's going to fuck you up, probably. He said his greatest fear was of trouble that he couldn't get around. He said, quote, what if one of these guys with a life sentence tried to approach me? I ain't about to let him harm me, so I've got to protect myself. Bam, there I go with 5 years mandatory or a life sentence.
My God.
He is fucking concerned. He says, once you go through the penitentiary, you learn how to appreciate more things in life. You just don't want to go down that road again. You want to do whatever it takes to stay focused on whatever your goals may be and on doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Dare I say it?
I'm good
He's
now.
good now. He is fucking good now.
No doubt.
God damn it. Now, Coach Richard Williams that we talked about, who I've been calling Dickie Bill to myself here. Richard Williams is Dickie Bill in my book. I'm sorry. My all night research, and I'm just like, sorry, what did Dickie Bill say about this? So,
I met a guy named Richards. What was it? Was it Richards? Is it Richards? Johnson's? That was his first name.
Christ.
Johnson's Richard.
Good Lord.
Somebody named him Dick's Dick,
Dick.
on purpose. They
That's
went out of their
terrible.
way to name him Dick's Dick.
We wanted everyone to know that he's got a dick name. Everyone.
James.
Just in case.
A dick name.
That's right. God damn it. So.
He is Dick's Dick, like plural dicks.
Yeah.
He's a Dick's Dick. That's what he is.
That fella's a dick's dick. Now, let's tell a tale of a silver-haired, middle-aged white man.
Okay.
Coach Dickie Bill of the Mississippi State Bulldogs here. He says he talks to Bullard about every 10 days or so in prison and corresponds with him even more regularly than that.
Yeah.
He says they become so close through the ordeal that Bullard signs his letters, quote, your son Marcus.
Oh, boy.
That's silver there.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, Mississippi State, as there's a reason for this, they go from 26-8 in 1995 to 12-18.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I thought they were going to flip-flop that.
And Dickie Bill doesn't acknowledge that that's the reason why he keeps Marcus close at all. He says, quote, Marcus is part of our family, and I want him back on our basketball team. I'm certainly not a young coach trying to win games to save my job.
Sure.
I feel a commitment to Marcus Bullard. It's about him. It's not about me. I know what kind of person he can be and what kind of person he is most of the time when he's not pistol whipping people or selling cocaine.
I also know what kind of person he can be when he's playing for me and
being an asshole.
How my team is when he's not playing for me.
Terrible is the answer to that. I know there's something in Marcus Bullard worth saving. You know, his jump shot possibly or his defense. Then he knows that it sounds ridiculous because he says, quote, as hokey as it sounds, I think that's what the education and coaching business is all about. Not about winning games at all. Not about boosters up your ass, alumni. Not about sponsors and Adidas giving you your fucking shoe deal and giving you the money. Not about any of that. It's about education and coaching and taking care of troubled youth. Okay.
And then he goes, delete all this, please. No, this conversation's over.
This is terrible.
I'm really ruining this.
He said, I know it'll be taken as nothing but self-interest, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not self-interest at all. So the next season, March 29th, 1997, Mississippi State is not in the tournament. This is while it's going on. They're about to play the Final Four game, the first one. He's now in a prison 1 year later. He's in Building 10 at Leakesville, Mississippi, on the grounds of the South Mississippi Correctional Institution. Instead of wearing number 3, he's got 51603A. That's his number. And number 51603A dribbles up the court. Wow, not great for that.
That's a really terrible jersey. Nobody's buying that jersey.
No one's buying that, especially the A. It's like, is that necessary? Yeah. Is there a B? Right. He says he has a lot of regret, of course. Coach Dickie Bill said, quote, I just got a letter from him, and the first thing he said was how hard it was to watch games on TV. He talked about how much he let me down and let the team down.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be scheduled for release on August 12th, 97. Williams said he would love to have Bullard back on the teams, but it's by no means certain. He said, quote, we've made a commitment as an institution to help Marcus complete his education. We have not made a decision about his athletic career. Schooling, yes. Athletic, no.
Fucking so important.
Like you're going to let him go to school without playing.
Right.
Yeah, fuck you, exactly. Fucking silver-haired middle-aged white man, my ass over here. So he finally is released in August, actually.
Yeah.
Mississippi State allows him to return to school, but Williams, the head coach, has a condition on this.
Yeah.
Dickie Bill here, fucking Dickie is shit. If Bullard didn't play basketball for when he returned to school, then he would have to pay to go to school.
Oh, is that right?
He could go to school
and for free, as long as he's got those Adidas on.
If he elected to play, then he would be on scholarship.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. So Williams said, quote, socially, he would have to show us that he's going to do what he needs to do.
You back the man into a corner. Of course he's going to play because he can't fucking afford that.
But he desperately wants to come back, he said, but he decided he couldn't afford to sit out another year because they wanted him to sit out a year and then come back after that. So he walked away from Mississippi State because he wanted to go play somewhere else because he knows, Jesus Christ, my window is shrinking.
Right.
I got to get hooked up to an NBA team before I get arrested again.
Right.
I need a contract. He said, quote, that was difficult. That's where my heart is at, Mississippi State. It still is, it always will be. Williams said, now he's trying to play it like we didn't let him come back after that. Right. This is all through the timeline. It's amazing. He says, quote, we felt like if we had let Marcus come back and resume his playing career immediately, we'd be sending the wrong message.
Yeah.
Bullshit is what it was. That's bullshit. He said he had to be on the floor, Bullard, and he didn't care what it took, whether it was NCAA, Division I, Division II, NAIA basketball, Mississippi State. He said, if you can play, the scouts are going to find you.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to look real hard to find him where he ends up because in October 97, he ends up at Auburn University at Montgomery. Ever heard of that?
No.
Shit, no. It's not even the name of the school anymore. Put it
really?
that way. No, it's some other horse shit now. It's just Montgomery University or
Tech,
whatever, Tech U, Auburn, Montgomery State. I don't know what the fuck it is.
At least it's not a sugarcane field.
That's true. They're not growing radishes there. So they're not an NCAA member.
No.
They are an NAIA, which is the National Association of Intercollegiate is which is sounds like the intramural squad,
right.
Like as opposed to the real team.
The Canadian Basketball League or fucking whatever.
Although they have some certain history that's kind of cool. In 1948, they actually opened their things to black students too, to black student athletes. Okay. Their teams. John Wooden, famous, UCLA greatest college coach of all time, started at Indiana State there and ended up obviously coaching there. Right. He brought the first black student to play in a national basketball tournament.
That's
there.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And also to women too. They were big in.
Who gives a shit?
They began sponsoring. They were the first to begin sponsoring intercollegiate championships for women in 1980. Yeah. So they were the second co-ed thing, but it was behind the National Junior College Athletic Association, not the NCAA. So there's a guy here. Let's introduce silver-haired middle-aged white man, number probably 5 in this guy's life. Larry Chapman.
Yeah.
Larry Chapman is the coach for this Auburn Montgomery horseshit NAIA team. He's coached for Montgomery Auburn Tech U.
He's
here.
making $12,000 a year. He has another job.
He moves furniture.
This is his
at night.
second job.
So he's been head coach for 20 of the 22 years that there's been basketball at the school, and he still has to have another job.
My God.
Bullard expressed interest going to the school because anywhere that would take him.
Yeah.
He spent, Chapman said he spent a week in Bullard's hometown of Long Beach, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I picture him like a detective going around with a little notepad, talking with former teachers, friends, relatives, doctors.
On PTO from his other job.
Yeah, he had to take time off. He is getting paid for it, though. He built that PTO up for this very specific reason.
PTO to go scout.
Who talks to somebody's fucking doctors?
Yeah, I don't
be like, none of my fucking business. I can't even tell you if that's my patient or not. It's privileged, asshole.
Yeah, it's called HIPAA, you motherfucker.
Dickhead. So finally, this Chapman tells the Auburn's president that Bullard is worth taking. He said he's worth the risk. He said, quote, when I began to investigate and I began to look into his closet, it was not a difficult thing for me personally with Marcus Bullard. I didn't struggle at all with bringing him into my basketball family.
Yeah.
The same day that he signed, though, there was an Outside the Lines segment on ESPN focused on athletes that were violating the law all the time, and they briefly mentioned Marcus Bullard in this exchange, which did not help at all. The scrutiny on Auburn, on this
brutal
Tech U State University here.
This is why there's fluff pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you're honest, it's detrimental.
It's detrimental as fuck to this. People were pissed. People were pissed at that coach.
Yeah.
Chapman, who's also the athletic director of the school, so that's his second job.
Yeah.
He said he was on the hot seat. He said, quote, I was wearing two hats in this situation. I had to deal with damage control within my own universe because they were attacking him from the inside too. He said, Chapman said that Bullard has had nothing but a positive attitude through the whole thing. He said, quote, he's not whining. He's not acting like AUM, which is Tech U State here, is beneath him.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. He said he's appreciative. He's sincere. He violated parole. That's what he said. Like he's back.
Nice.
He served his punishment. And as far as I'm concerned, he's been punished enough. God damn it. That's what he said, actually. Besides the
He's
damn it.
all these positive things and then violated parole.
God damn it was mine there.
Nobody's ever said that about me.
No. Fuck,
You'll
man.
never use that to describe me as I violated parole.
No shit.
You say a lot of bad things about me, but that's not one of them.
You violated parole. You have to be on parole to begin with, first of all. And you have to violate that. Fuck that up. So Chapman here he's also, this guy likes to bring in stray dogs and cats, basically.
Yeah.
He's a longtime participant in a non-denominational ministry for prisoners in the Alabama State Correctional system. Speaks to a lot of people about that. He's really into this. We can give him a second chance type of thing.
Somebody's seen The Blind Side.
Yeah,
he's just searching for anybody that's on the downslope.
Well, he's at a shit school, so he's like, he's got like the Raiders mentality of the 70s. Like, if I can find a cast-off who's too much of a fuck-up to play anywhere, but if I can deal with that fuck-up and contain him for a year, I'll get some lightning in a bottle and maybe get a job at a half-decent college where I don't have to fucking work at Wendy's on the side. So, awful, this poor guy. So, he said Bullard is doing great on and off the court. He said, I don't have to beat a drum for Marcus Bullard. If he's not ever pointed a finger at anyone else, he said, look, I made a mistake. I paid. He's a free man.
Yeah.
He's like, you be nice to him, goddammit.
He's never pointed a finger, but he sure enough pointed a fucking gun.
He sure did that shit and also beat a guy with it. No shit. So he's taken a lot of troubled players before, but he said that Bullard's an NBA caliber player in a league that doesn't normally see NBA caliber potential. Okay. So this guy could have a gun on him on the court, and he's still going to say he's fine. Chapman said, quote, we'd be a good team without him. With him, he's the kind of guy, an impact player who can make us a contender to win some big games.
Yeah.
No shit.
We'd be
better than anyone else in the league.
A good team without him, but we'd be much better with him.
Final four level point guard. October 31st, 97, he plays in his first preseason game. Okay. Bullard says about this, basketball is basketball, no matter where you are, Division I, II, or NAIA, sorry, mix those letters up.
It's so cute. Because it's confusing as fuck.
It is. Said, I love this game and I want to play it. I'm not just looking at the little picture right now. I'm looking at the big picture, which is for me the next level. That's how I stay focused. That's how I keep a positive attitude. He said this is his last opportunity and he knows it. And let's get it in their own words. Quote, being a convicted felon, I know I can't do the same thing as the average student would do. I can't go to parties and those type of things. I'm just focused on my basketball career.
Yeah.
Basketball has been a savior for me. It's the only thing I really love to do. My goal is to try to take full advantage of this opportunity and make it to the next level.
Shit, yeah.
The gym holds 4,000 people, but the team averages about 200 fans per game.
Oh, that is fucking cavernous.
The information...
You hear every shoe squeak.
Come on, asshole. Nice shot, dickhead. You hear everything.
You could heckle the fuck out of them.
You hear him setting up plays and shit.
Yeah.
He said for one contest, this is the information director of the school, for one contest, quote, we didn't have 30 people there.
Ouch.
That is sad. That's
in a room that holds 4,000.
That's like a bad local comedy show. That sounds terrible.
Worse, I've opened for a big name comic who's a storied, historical, he's an unbelievable comic. I'm not going to give his name because the story sounds shitty. In a room that holds 550, and there was 60 people there.
How fucking he booked the 550 room anyway? He's doing fine. Trust me. You need shit.
Point is,
he up all night doing this shit. You're going to protect him and me? You're going to protect him and me, Jimmy?
The point is, the room that holds 4,000 with 30 in it, that's got to feel so shitty.
There's more players than coaches. Yeah. There literally is more players than coaches.
Between both teams? Yeah.
They're outnumbered. The fans shouldn't be outnumbered.
No.
But his 97-98 stats for this school, 25 games, 26.6 points a game. You bet your ass he's paid his debts to society. 3.4 rebounds a game, 4.8 assists, 3.0 steals. 3 steals a game. God. That is robbing people. 6 to 8 NBA teams have inquired over the course of the season about Bullard.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I'd like to know which one.
6 to 8. Still, Coach Dickie Bill, he said he isn't certain about his NBA potential.
Yeah.
He says
is this 99 or 2000?
This is 97-98.
Okay.
He says, quote, he's a 6'3", 200-pound guard. There are thousands of those. He has to have something that sets him apart, and I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
Which is true. Yeah. There's a lot of those guards that are just good ball handling.
Feisty though.
Yeah, feisty. You never know. He's the type of guy who could catch on in Europe, and then 3 years from now could end up in the NBA.
Yeah.
A lot of guys like that in the league that have made it.
He ended up being the basketball Kurt Warner.
Yeah. He says, though, quote, wow. But Williams, Dickie Bill said that, quote, regardless of what happens with the pros, he believes Bullard's life will have a positive outcome. Want to bet? Quote, obviously.
James has heard the rest of the story.
He said, quote, obviously I could be wrong about it, but I believe he will. I have faith in him. I know how hard-headed he can be, and this is something that he wants.
What a bet.
Yeah. He says, Bullard says it's all about his 3 children.
Yeah.
His 2 6-year-old daughters, his 3-year-old son, who all live with their mothers, respectively, 3 different mothers, in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and Long Beach, Mississippi.
My God.
3 different cities. He said, quote, they are very important, Bullard said of his children. Wow. He sees them as frequently as he can. He says, the main reason why I'm out here working hard, I know I can't financially take care of them the way I want to, but everything I have goes to them. I know I can't spend enough time with them, but I'd rather be there for them a year or 2 down the road.
He could have stopped that whole statement after I know I can't take care of them.
I know I can't take care of them. It's going to get worse. Going to get worse. He's got a 2.9 GPA, which isn't terrible for a basketball player.
Awful.
He says, quote, I'm telling you I will be in the NBA.
Okay.
He says, I'm going to get there. I'm going to die trying.
Okay.
January 98, his team is playing a highly ranked in the NAIA ranks, Life College.
Okay.
NBA scouts are there specifically to see Marcus Bullard. This is his display, his night.
Yeah.
He's all the way back from jail. Now here's his time.
Yeah.
He's ejected in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Holy shit.
2
Get
minutes.
out of
he
here.
He does not make it 2 fucking minutes into the game.
He got ejected.
Doesn't make it 2 fucking minutes into the game.
Wow.
This asshole. And
that's way worse than fouling out.
And the whole thing, they just got those scouts over the point of maybe he's got bad character to get them there. And in the first, you don't even get them. They don't even get to see you dunk or something first or make a great pass. The first thing they see about you is you getting kicked out of the fucking game because you're an idiot. Wow. February 8th, 1998, Bullard is forced to quit the team.
Okay.
He's forced to quit the team because he's arrested.
Oh, Christ.
He's arrested when a search of his dorm room turns up weed and weed seeds, marijuana and marijuana seeds. He's charged with a Class A misdemeanor of possession of marijuana. He could face up to a year in jail.
Yeah.
He is released on a $300 bond that day. When asked they asked Chapman if Bullard was going to be back on the team, and Chapman said, quote, I'm dealing with a guy's life, and this is pretty serious stuff. I have no idea. I can't answer that. Anything's possible. I don't know.
I have
we'll
no
see.
idea.
I don't know.
Maybe.
He drops 26 a game. We're going to see what's up. Let's see what happens here.
Depends on the charges and the sentence, and anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Yeah. Bullard said in their own words, quote, "I don't feel too good right now. I really haven't slept in about 3 days. I was just sitting there thinking about all the players and the coaches and the joy they bring to my life. This is basically all I have now. I have nothing to go home to." He's fucked. He says he slipped up bad in the last month. He stopped going to class. He just kind of, why? Because he was playing really well.
Yeah.
When he plays well, he goes, I don't need to do the things I need to do because
I'm
playing well.
Right.
They'll fix it.
Yeah.
People will fix that shit
goes
for
away.
me. And it happens, too. April 1998, Montgomery District Attorney decides not to prosecute the marijuana charge against Marcus Bullard.
Really?
Damon Williams, the deputy district attorney, filed court papers to say that they were withholding prosecution in the case. Bullard, now that he's free and clear, plans to attend the NBA pre-draft camp in Chicago in May and makes himself eligible for the 98 draft.
Sweet Pete.
Think he's going to be a hot commodity?
No.
We've talked about the 98 draft before.
Low stock.
Michael Olowokandi, number one player overall.
That was a bad one.
Mike Bibby, Antoine Jameson, that whole
some good picks.
White Jason Williams, white non-criminal Jason Williams, Paul Pierce.
White chocolate was what he called himself. What a dickhead.
What a fucking complete idiot.
Great ball handler.
One thing that is missing out of these 2 rounds of a draft is Marcus Bullard. Because he doesn't get drafted at all. European guys.
They took a chance on Olowokandi before a guy that's got criminal charges.
He was number 1 overall.
Yeah, goddamn right.
They drafted a guy named Maceo Baston. That's
before
funny.
They took him.
They took before. Oh, yeah, absolutely. He doesn't get drafted. So 1998, he's out. Goes home.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's not a good move.
So his brother's a junior. He's got 3 kids. He's going home. He hasn't found religion yet, thank fucker. But he does find a guilty plea in 1998 to possession of crack cocaine.
My Christ.
Crack cocaine in 98. More crack cocaine.
It's going downhill fast.
Real fast. He receives 3 years probation out of the crack cocaine bust. 2001, he's back on the horse, though.
Yeah.
He signs in Venezuela.
Okay.
First of all, he hasn't played ball in fucking 3 years, organized ball. He signs in Venezuela with the Delfines de Miranda
that sounds right.
team. I don't know. That's the team he plays for.
Sounds good to me.
And, I don't know. There's no stats from Venezuela. Believe me, I looked and I can't find it. It's got to be terrible. But he plays there for a season and he leaves. I'm sure he got arrested for something stupid.
For sure.
He got fucking arrested.
He got kicked out of the country.
Probably. They were like, send this asshole back there. Some dickhead communist country couldn't even fucking handle him. They're like, he's a dick bag. So he goes back to the States.
Everyone out there should listen to Small Town Murder. You really should, mainly because you never know who's next door. And that's the point of this show, really. You never know who is next door. You never know what's going to happen on Small Town Murder. That's what makes it so wonderful. The only thing you do know is that people are going to die, and we're probably going to make jokes about it. That's it. That's all we can promise you. We dig into these towns. We see what makes them tick, from local legends to scandals they may have had. And, of course, the biggest scandals of all, horrible murders that take place there. And we put what I feel is a completely appropriate comedic spin on the whole thing. And you need a laugh right now. So get in there, listen to Small Town Murder, follow Small Town Murder on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Small Town Murder early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
And now, back to the show.
He kicks around. He's real quiet after that. That was 2001, late 2001. He comes back to the States. He's real quiet, kind of under the radar for like 2 years. Really, nothing happens. He's just like, I hear he's working at a trucking company.
Eesh.
Like all I can find is rumors and innuendo about him. There's an article about where are they now, the Final Four team, and these guys in the NBA, and this guy's in the NBA, and this guy's a financial advisor, and this guy's a coach for this college team, and this guy is an ex-convict that runs a trucking company, or works at a trucking company.
He don't run that shit.
He's not like Rick Bowe going to get his shit together.
No.
Was that Bowe? That was Bowe.
That was Riddick Bowe working for CRST.
This all happens up until 2004 when he is arrested again, this time for cocaine and ecstasy, for selling cocaine and ecstasy now. This is not the first or the last, but so he's now sitting in this. This nets him a couple years in prison. Of course, obviously. So
you got a history
Christ.
with the shit. You got to figure it out.
Yeah, he's a fucking mess, man.
What a disaster.
It is. But luckily for him, in 2004, when he is sent away for this ecstasy and cocaine, what is he fucking thinking? I guess I know what he's thinking. He's thinking, I have no future.
Right.
I can only get jobs where I make $8 an hour. I need to make money. I have 3 fucking kids.
Yeah.
I got to do something.
The only thing I know how to do
is sell cocaine and ecstasy.
I can weigh this. I know how to do that.
That's a fact. I'm bad at math, but I'm sure as shit good at triple beam scale. I can rock that shit. I know exactly where to put that little fucker. So he does that. I mean, the good thing is it's not the dorm room setting he's in. He's actually in a cell all by himself, like the 2-man like he had earlier when he was like isolating himself, which is nice because there you can get visitors.
Oh,
you can get visitors. Like one night he's just sitting there. They open the door. He thinks it's a cellmate, and it still does, but it's not. It's Estevez Jones, MMA fighter and 70s blaxploitation film villain, and he says. Motherfucker, how is it you come to arrive here? Man, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Serious? No. Let me, no, you Southern motherfuckers, I can't be taking this shit. So I'm from Chicago, understand? Now, I don't understand you Southern motherfuckers at all. You eating crawfish, pistol whipping? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? What you doing? Huh? You selling cocaine, ecstasy? That shit, that's evidence, man. You got to sell women. Don't you? You sell women. Those are people that can then say he wasn't selling me. See, cocaine ain't going to say he wasn't selling me. That's never happened once, motherfucker. You stupid. Tell you what.
Cocaine ain't got a voice box.
You get nothing, man. You come to my house when you're done. I'll give you my shit. I'll give you my info. You come to my house. I'll put you on, maybe get you a little stable of your own because I see you working hard on the crime and I appreciate that. So you do that. Poof. In a puff of mink and gold, he's gone. Out of there. Leopard print everywhere. He's gone. Blaxploitation film villain. That's what he is. He's the guy who runs the neighborhood in the 70s.
That's my favorite word.
I love that too. So he gets out. He does a couple years in there. Estevez Jones's words are swirling in his mind. He has a couple. You know how it goes.
Fucking resonates.
It does. He resonates with you. When somebody comes up to you and goes, "Motherfucker," you're like, "Oh shit!"
You start a conversation with "motherfucker," and it smacks like that. Motherfucker.
Yeah, like 70s blaxploitation film villain style. Then you're throwing down, and he'll put you in a rear naked. He'll dope you up too. Put you right in a chokehold.
Got you in a guillotine.
Boom, done. He's got that too. It's tough. It's very tough. That's how he controls the women. Guillotine time. Come here, honey. So he manages to stay. He has a couple brushes here and there with the law. Nothing major, no giant felonies, just stupid stuff, but nothing that really pops up on the radar that much until December 26th, 2012. Jesus Christ. This is an out of the blue one. Basically, a car pulled into a driveway, and as it pulled into the driveway of their own home, another car pulled up and fired 4 shots at that car.
Oh, shit.
Hitting the car 4 times, not hitting any of the occupants, but hitting the car, and then the car fled the scene. Guess who was in the car?
Oh, no.
Guess who fired the fucking shots?
No, that car.
Of course it's Marcus Bullard firing shots out the goddamn window at someone, and they put it as fired shots, quote, at an acquaintance.
Sweet. Pete.
You have to be more than acquainted with someone to shoot at them.
You know the guy.
Yeah. And
you don't fire at the person you know. You have somebody else do it.
And this is December 26th. There's still
day
Christmas
after
lights
Christmas,
up. He could have hit a fucking plastic Santa on the lawn with a stray over here. This is terrible. Jesus Christ. The police say they have no motive for the shooting. Yeah. Nobody will talk. The guy who got shot at won't talk about it because it's a fucking drug thing. You know, and they're not going to tell on
have
anybody.
Them watching him.
Bullard he's not talking about it. No. They get an arrest warrant for Bullock because the guy, the people saw his car. They got his license plate. They know who he is. But they couldn't find him. He is on the lam again. It's December 2012 on the lam. Okay. Yeah. May 2nd, 2013, federal marshals arrest Bullock.
Oh,
and
shit.
They find
Bullard.
him. Bullard. Did I say Bullock again? I want him to be Bullock so bad. Federal marshals arrest Bullard, and they take him to Harrison County Jail on May 2nd. So May 2nd. So he was gone for 5 months.
5 months this
he was
man's
out
running.
there. He was booked into the Harrison County Jail with a bond of $100,000.
Oh, shit.
And by the way,
pay that.
No, well, the reason why he can't pay it, and it's so high, is because at the time of his drive-by shooting, he was on parole for felony drug charges, for a fucking felony drug conviction. He's still on parole from the goddamn ecstasy cocaine charges that were rolled over from his other parole of the other thing that he came out. This guy is just a ball of parole.
He refuses to take advantage of his silver hair privilege.
They've been trying so hard to get him out of trouble.
The silver privilege, they're trying to show him that this is much better than white privilege, and he refuses. Refuses.
He's like, I don't want silver privilege. I don't even want white privilege.
No, I want to be in this system that enslaves a fucking black man.
I want to be treated as poorly and blackly as possible. That's how I want to treat you like I've been.
He demands it. He fucking demands it.
It's fucking terrible. It's goddamn it. You just want him to do better, and he's not. July 29th, 2013. By the way, somehow he gets out on that thing, on the drive-by charge. Then July 29, 2013, he is sent back to prison for a parole violation again. He has another violation. 2013, this is right after this, prosecutors failed to get an indictment on the drive-by charge.
Oh, shit.
They failed to get an indictment. They can't do that.
They can't find enough evidence?
They can't indict him on it? No, they can't. So it's funny because the guy won't talk. The other guy said he's not telling, and there's no other.
Goes away. There's no victim. There's no criminal.
That's the thing. If no one will be a witness, and he's not saying he did it, who's going to say he did it? So they don't get an indictment. September 25th, 2013, the state parole board
Christmas Day.
No, September 25th.
Oh, they say it's December. All right, go on.
The state parole board approves his early release from jail. If there's anyone we need to get back into the community, it's this guy. God. Jesus Christ. He's transferred to the Harrison County Jail. He's held on bond. Then he's released. So he's out from September. He gets out. It's the last week of September 2013. By October 16th, 2013, he's fucking in trouble again.
Jesus
again.
Christ.
Again.
He refuses to have a good life.
Not even a life that's not imprisoned.
Right.
October 16th, 2013, he's arrested on charges of possession with intent to distribute spice.
What?
Spice. Not even coke. No. Not even real weed.
It's synthetic bullshit weed.
Synthetic bullshit, stupid weed. He gets busted into. That's his idea.
He may as well be selling bath salts.
Them
what a
kids
asshole.
Like that spice.
Yeah,
that's what he said, and he distributes the spice.
You can't
like
get
a fucking
arrested
moron.
for this one. What a dickhead.
It's so stupid, man. And not ecstasy, heroin. He had all the good ones before. He was really crack. He was selling crack like a fucking gentleman.
Ran it all the way down to spice. Shit, they sell at a fucking head shop.
Caught again. God damn it. Yeah. I'm sure it wasn't legal in Mississippi, though.
No.
He's booked into jail on that. It's the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics is the arresting agency, which is not great. He's held on $50,000 bail, but he's not eligible to post bail because he's being held on a parole warrant from his old crack cocaine conviction. He's still got that parole. That's not going away.
He can't just ride one out.
I mean, Jesus. No, he can't just ride one out. He's a mess. Why would a judge give him any kind of break?
Never.
Too, because he's going to keep fucking
you fucking
up.
Better
he's
not.
Fucked over every judge that's ever tried to give him a chance. I'm glad that second guy said you may go right there with a year. Think about Dickie Bill. Think about what an idiot Dickie Bill looks like.
He's got to feel so dumb.
He had to release 100 conflicting statements about how fucking because it's so stupid that he thinks this and that. Chapman guy, he's a good guy. Anything's possible. Even Venezuelan people feel stupid about this whole thing. What about the college, the Auburn, 26 points a game? Yay. All the Mississippi people that had his jersey and his picture and it gone. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. All these people, but not nearly.
Oh, no.
Not nearly as bad as I feel for Marcus Bullard.
No.
A crew trainer at the McDonald's Corporation in Springfield, Missouri.
Christ.
He's the only guy who works at McDonald's who can look down on someone with the same name. He's like, that guy sucks. At least I don't sell crack.
Our Marcus should be that guy.
Yes,
at
least
he
should be. Or this guy,
asshole.
who I believe is the same exact person. Yeah. Marcus Bullard, he just has a separate profile, who also works at a nonprofit for kids in Missouri. Think it's the same guy. He's such a sweet loser, this guy. Nice loser. Nothing like our guy who's a dickhead winner.
No, yeah.
I'd rather have a nice loser than a dickhead winner. This poor bastard. Marcus Bullard, a man from Cedar Bluff who can't stop getting arrested for drugs. He's a white dude named Marcus Bullard, but he's in competition. Awesome. These two, I really think we should get the Spy versus Spy, like a white one and a black one in there. They're each other's analog, just going out selling drugs here.
A white one and a black one.
It's amazing.
One trying to kill the other.
Yeah. He gets busted almost as much as our guy. It's fucking awesome. It's awesome. He's like 10 years younger, so he's got time. He'll catch up.
Awesome.
Fucking awesome. You know how many times I mistakenly pulled up his information? It was like
fucking awesome.
I was like, what did he do now? I'm like, this isn't the same guy. Cedar Bluff. This isn't fucking Mississippi. What's happening?
That's fucking awesome.
And finally, worst of all, the one I feel the most sorry for by far is Marcus Bullard, who is a football player.
Oh, no.
I found him originally here starting out in 2011 when he played for Spring Valley High in Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah. Played linebacker. He's 6'3", 200 pounds.
Wow.
He's the exact same fucking size
Built
as
like
him
a
back
linebacker.
Then. Built like a linebacker that plays in Spring Valley High in Columbia, South Carolina.
Same fucking name.
Same name. Ranked decently by scouts. He had some trouble. He couldn't decide on a college.
Yeah.
He was hoping that Wofford would make him an offer, and a couple other colleges. Somehow ends up, after a year of junior college, or possibly two, I'm not sure, I couldn't make the timelines add up. He finally ends up going to Clemson.
Wow.
Goes to fucking Clemson, and he's a walk-on.
Against all odds.
He's a walk-on on a top 20 powerhouse school. He's a walk-on. They call him, quote, the original walk-on because he's only played 5 games in 3 years because he's a walk-on reserve, but they love, he's like Rudy, except
for him.
Not, except physically capable
and
not a complete fucking
name.
idiot, too. Not a complete asshole. Yeah. Also, I hate Rudy. So anyway, he in 2012, he played 2 games on special teams, played special teams at Wake Forest game in his first career game. 2013, didn't appear in a game at all. Just sat there with his uniform the whole year. 2014, played 3 games on special teams. And this fucking guy, this poor guy.
Bastard. Poor bastard.
All you hear if you search for him, you're getting tons of arrest.
Meanwhile, he probably got himself a great free education.
Yeah, he's doing great. He's majoring in parks, recreation, and tourism management.
My man.
Doing well
there
in school, using his walk-on status to get an education. That's the good Marcus fucking Bullard. That's who Marcus Bullard should be.
That's our guy.
That's our guy. That's our guy.
That's
not black Marcus Bullard or white Marcus Bullard, right. Spy versus Spy drugs Marcus Bullard. We want this black Bullard over here. This black Marcus Bullard. He's so much better.
Terrific.
He's great. He's not the
Pillar
guy
of
who
the
get arrested.
Community.
Oh, he's fantastic. So I also found here Jasmine Bradley, who played for Northwestern State, the Lady Demon basketball team for Northwestern State. She was a 5'8" guard. Her senior year, she had a preseason season-ending knee injury.
Yeah.
Of her stats here in her personal under her bio, this is shit. I dug deep.
Yeah.
It's personal, quote, born Jasmine Alexandra Bradley, date, whatever, daughter of Angela Spencer, Irvin Bradley, and has 2 sisters, Shantae Spencer and Aisha Bradley. Sister Shantae is a nurse, and cousin Marcus Bullard plays professional basketball overseas.
Oh, that's her fucking
her
uncle?
Cousin.
Oh,
that's her uncle. It says her cousin Marcus Bullard.
Okay.
But this was from like 2014.
Unbelievable.
They just heard he played, and they just said he plays overseas.
They don't know him.
They don't
never
know
met him.
Exactly. But I was like, that's his fucking
She's
cousin.
bragging.
She's bragging about that shit, and she's from Mississippi also. So it's definitely
that's our girl.
That's our girl.
She's our family.
I would fucking say so.
That's
the
hilarious.
May 12th, 2016, we have an early morning arrest here. Thursday morning, super early.
2016.
2016.
Just last year.
Just last year in Biloxi, Mississippi. Biloxi, a police sergeant, O'Neill Adams, his first name is O'Neill, said that Marcus Bullard.
Born and bred cop.
Oh, you know
That's
it.
what he is.
Sideburns 3 inches above his ears.
Yes.
Shaved up high. He's way up high.
3 inches above. Like a Guile haircut from
like
fucking Street Fighter.
It's like a fade, but only at the sideburn, and the rest of it's hair. Short, but still hair. He is arrested, says Bullard is arrested on charges of receiving stolen property after they stop his vehicle. And, well, first of all, he does not have a fucking driver's license, clearly, no doubt. But also the vehicle that he was driving has been reported stolen. Yeah. That's another problem that he's got right there. That's going to be an issue.
He doesn't even have a car.
He doesn't have a license or a car.
Right.
He's just, I guess I'm not allowed to drive, and especially not this car. This is not mine at
all.
They
did not give me permission. This is,
I hotwired this thing.
Daisy.
This is terrible. So he's being held at the Harrison County Jail where he's a regular. They must know him.
Oh, God.
He walks in, the lady doing, hi, Betty.
Yeah.
Fingerprint away. No, I know how to do it. I got it. They don't even have to put their hand on him. I know,
It's Wednesday. It's meatloaf today, right?
I know, you roll the fingertip. I get it, yeah. It's meatloaf? Good. Yeah, got the menu.
I'll be
Still
in a
Taco
minute.
Tuesday? All right, just checking. So he's being held on $25,000 bond set by Justice Judge Bruce Strong.
Oh, boy.
Who he's dealt with before, which is funny. He gets out on bond.
Oh, God.
Somehow. $25,000 bond. Who's fuck? It's got to be Dickie Bill. I swear to God.
Somebody.
Dickie Bill is wiring him money.
Definitely not him.
No, I would say not.
If he had $2,500, he would be paying his own fucking fines and getting his license back.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, getting his kids something to eat. Well, they're like 20. No, they're 15, 16 years old. Yeah, feed your goddamn kids.
They're old enough to have kids.
They need school clothes. So they're old. Yeah, he had 3 by then.
Yeah, they take care of themselves by now.
They're fine. Yeah. They got 3-4 of their own now.
So many radishes.
So many handfuls. I set them up in radish country. It's their own little plot. It's good. A lot of vitamins in radish. Oh, there's not? Oh, no. They're going to be super malnourished then, but that's okay. So Harrison grand jury, a month later, found insufficient evidence to indict him on a charge that he received stolen property with the vehicle. He's in the car. It's stolen.
That's insufficient.
What's more? What more do you need at that point?
You need a victim. You need somebody to say, "I did not give him that car."
I don't know what the deal is. This is stolen. You were driving it. That's
all you need.
1 and 2. 1 plus
Bing,
1.
bang, boom.
2. Done.
To jail.
Yeah, to jail with you. May go.
You may go now.
So June 8th, 2016. That was May 12th, 2016. That was the driving thing. June 8th, 2016. Gulfport police arrest Marcus Bullard.
Oh, fuck.
At about 10:30 in the morning on a felony possession of meth.
Oh, no.
He's moved on from crack to meth, Jimmy.
Moved on from spice dealing to
from
actually doing meth.
Now he's just doing meth. He's like, fuck selling spice. I'm just going to rip this shit up.
Holy Christ.
This is the first time a misdemeanor charge of resisting arrest. He didn't even want to go. They had to fucking wrestle into the ground and tackle him. And he's a big, strong guy.
Sweet Pete. How
jacked up on meth, and they had to wrestle this guy to the fucking ground. How is it you've come to arrive here?
Truly.
That's the quote. How?
How do you
had
do
everything.
This?
You had every coach pulling for it. You were on television. Everybody on earth was pulling for you.
Listen, nobody's pulling for us that's in power. We got fucking listeners pulling for us.
They fucking don't want us. People in any kind of power and entertainment hate people like us because we're taking their power away because we don't fucking need them because we have an audience. They hate us. These people... Holy shit.
Holy fuck.
Everyone's trying to help this guy, and he will not do it. He refuses. He refuses to do it. He refuses to accept yes as an answer. He's such an asshole.
This is unbelievable.
He's such an... This is what I mean. This is Mississippi Black Ben Cousins. That's what I mean. See,
the only way that this story would be famous is if he got drafted and then all this happened. You know what I mean? The fact that he didn't get drafted, that's why nobody's heard this. Otherwise, he's Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, he's exactly right. If he played one game in the NBA, he's Ryan Leaf. But instead, this guy, he didn't even need to get to the NBA. Most of the guys need to get their money full in their bank account, and then they're like, all right, I'll do whatever I want.
Now I can fuck it off.
Fuck you, I don't care. This guy had a good game in a tournament and was like, don't give a shit, pistol whip him, fuck this guy, point my gun at you, here's some coke.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
This guy's ridiculous.
So October 6, 2016, he has a court date for said meth charges.
Right.
Doesn't show up.
Oh, boy.
Just flakes it. Doesn't even bother
I mean,
showing.
who expected him to show?
Yeah,
let's be
honest. December 6th, they finally get him.
Yeah.
He's arrested for failing to appear in court on the drug charge.
Yeah.
He had been out on a $50,000 bond from the last time, which I still don't know how he got. Like
It's
I
crazy.
said, all these $5,000, $25,000, they must have been rolling
So much
over
money.
since 93, since his
nuts.
first crack bust. Yeah, you got it. That's good. We'll roll it over again. Hey,
We'll get more
Marcus, good
credit.
to see you again. No, we'll roll you right over. Don't worry about it. This time he was held ordered with no bond on this one because he's not even showing
about
up.
time.
Fuck that. Yeah. But that was December 6th. December 15th, 2016, he's released from jail on a $50,000 bond. Same fucking bond again. How is it? Where's he getting $5,000?
Somebody keep him, for fuck's sake.
Somebody hang on to this asshole. So now, God knows where he is. He's out. That was less than a year ago.
Yeah.
He's out and about.
Yeah.
He hasn't been arrested that I can find since then or for anything major. He's out in the world. Could be anywhere.
And he still has to go to the court.
Look under your bed. Could be Marcus Bullard.
Could be there.
With a meth pipe
and
in
he's
his
got
hand.
court dates looming.
If you see him, because Coach Dickie Bill forgot to do this, if you see him, remind him to go to court and to go see his parole officer. Otherwise, remember, it's your fault if you don't.
We'll update you later.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be updating you on this one. This is not the last we've heard of him, I don't think, at all.
This is depressing.
It's depressing. Marcus Bullard, world at your feet, and you fucked it up. That, my friends, is crime in sports
You
right
bet
there.
it is.
This was the definition of crime in sports.
This is
right
what
here.
it's for.
It's what it's for right
My
there.
God.
Hope you enjoyed that crazy ass story
did.
because I had a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed hearing where radishes come from.
Yeah.
If you like that story, what you can do is head on over to iTunes. You
There
can
you
give
go.
us a review, give us 5 stars.
We'll take it.
It doesn't matter what you say. Tell us you're following directions, following instructions, not for our ego, just for the business. Speaking of business, if you want to do even more than that and be a spectacular superstar like this long list of amazing producers that we have here, you can do that very easily by heading over to patreon.com/crimeinsports and making a donation there, or for a one-time donation, heading over to PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. And goddamn it, every cent is appreciated. That is an
incredible.
absolute fact. Thank you guys so much for that. And if you want to get a hold of the show, you can do that Instagram and Twitter at Crime in Sports. crimeinsports@gmail.com, and of course facebook.com/crimeinsports.
Yes.
Anywhere you go, type in Crime in Sports and you will find us. Jimmy, please hit us with that list of amazing goddamn producers. Who are they?
This week was fucking outstanding. Again,
the best people.
It's like the third week in a row that things are just like, it seems like with podcasting that it takes a minute for it to click and then people get it and they jump on board if they like it. When they do and when they believe in something, this is I just can't overstate it.
I really think too a lot of it is the personal, and this is a weird thing, just a whatever thing of the business, but like for us, if you listen to both shows, we're in your ears for 4 hours a week. That's a lot of time. And it's not even like a radio show where you listen drive time and you're 45 minutes in the commute and half of that time's commercials and half of the time's, we're here with Dickhead from the Tempe Improv. Tell us your best joke. You know, that horse shit. We're actually like narrating a story for fucking 4 hours a week, and I feel like that's an intensely personal relationship,
really is.
and it feels it from our end too. So thank you guys so much.
We love having you guys around.
We feel just as connected to you guys, is what we're saying.
That's
thank you.
the point. That's where I was going with it. And you guys are the driving force behind it, and you're doing really all the fucking hard work. So thank you guys, Chrissy Ann Castaldi and Jess Landgren. Again, the two of them are fucking every week.
Thank you guys,
incredible people.
I'll hug you both. Thank you
for sure.
Really.
And we're coming to Boston for you, Chrissy.
Yes,
we're going to be hugging you for sure.
Jess, you're a little farther away, but if we ever get down under, we are going to, or New Zealand actually.
Right.
Sorry.
No, she's in Australia.
I thought she was in New Zealand.
She's in.
Why did I think of?
She's just north of Victoria. What's up there?
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I forget where it's
I'm
at.
so sorry.
I forget the name of that.
She's
town.
there. When we ever get down there, we were going to hug you, then punch a kangaroo. 1 and 2. There's 1 and 2 on our list.
Chris Edgecombe. Edgecombe.
Then kick Ben Cousins in the nuts.
That's the truth.
That's 3.
We got to find him.
Ben Edgecombe. I apologize, Ben.
No, Chris Edgecombe.
Chris Edgecombe. I apologize again to you and to Ben Cousins. No, I don't. Fuck him.
Sydney Woods, Sherry Bullock, Michael Friend, Marina Ayala, Scott Countryman, Nicholas Lamb Yorsky, Gavin Marsh, Edens Edibles. I'm not sure what they are. Find them and give them business.
Weed cookies, something.
I hope so.
Weed cookies.
Fingers crossed. I don't think it is. Brett Barker, Heather Rylander, Claren C. Brenchley. I think that's it. Brenchley. That looks like it. Angelo Flotta, Jane Richards, Renee Hurley, Life Lipan or Lipman. That's an M, not an H. What the fuck? Lipman,
you wrote those, right?
Lipman Media. Yeah, no, I wrote every one of these.
Okay,
I can't read my own bullshit
okay.
handwriting. I write like a 2-year-old. Rebecca Wiggins, Adriana Garcia, Jason Brown, Rory Tulloch over in Tulloch. I think that's it.
He's great, though. He did some
terrific.
Awesome shit for us.
Yeah.
Sorry for the ginger comments there, Scottish guy.
Kimberly Blevins.
Thank you,
Paul Kinsella. Juan Cruz. Miranda. No, it is Miranda. Miranda Whittinghill. It's double T's. How can I ruin that? Anyway, Darlene James, Hannah Edinger sent some British dough. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Hannah, so much.
Dana Grayson over there in Delaware, he sent some dough. He signed up on Patreon. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that, man.
Helen Deacon, Ryan Bauer. That's a you. Ryan Bauer. Zach Cliniston? No. Klein Dinst or Clinidinst?
You made it sound like a terrible medical anomaly that happened to somebody.
It's not what it is. It's Zach Clinidinst. I think.
Okay, that's better.
Kleinidinst? It can't be Kleindinst, right? That's a terrible last name.
Well, I don't think there's a good one in there, honestly, in any of those combinations.
You can't even rearrange those letters to make a good one.
I'm allowed to say that because my last name's a disaster, so it's fine.
Stinklined, you can make that out of that. I don't know. Joe Boyd, Jackie Burrows Anderson, Holly Hoffman, Louise. It's Luis. Luis Santos. That's it. Luis Santos, Sarah Pignotti, Jazz Cruz, Mike Lipinski, it's Stephen Dean. Noah Wooten, Wesley Wesley Swims. He's terrific.
Cool.
He's on Snapchat. He's a good dude. Katie Martins, Lou Brooks over in England. Thank you. Adriana Garcia, I already said that. Alicia Stevens, and then Stephen Imeson.
Stephen Alicia after that?
Yeah, Stephen Ameson.
Alicia Stevens and then Stephen Alicia.
I think that's an I. Oh. It's not Ameson. It's Imeson.
All right.
I think so.
Okay.
Pamela Ornelas.
I'll believe you.
Matt McLean. Philip Big P Little A. No. Philip Big P Little Ass. Pass.
Little Ass.
That's right. That's what it was.
Okay.
Anne-Marie Hoyt. Taylor Ray Foster. Sally Earls. Nicholas Strasberg. Kristen Reibolt. Carol Feely. Jamie Singh. Annie Schock. Jen Vogel. Jessica Sharp, Kim Comiskey, like the park, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Maggie Kokaska.
You're just making noise.
I don't know. Maggie, that's a difficult one. Jim Shaughnessy, Melissa Cole, Megan Stoneburner.
Learning English over here. Sorry.
Megan Stoneburner is a badass name. Joseph Telligan, Chris Bennett, Kyle Knapp, Alexis DeVries, Brad Coach, one of those, Kendall Passmore, Danielle Longamore, Katie Conlin, Gregory with a brutal last name, Gurulat, I'm not sure. Cynthia Mixer, Kevin Whaley. Oh, and you know what? Kevin Whaley is the one that sent us a fucking, is that right? No, that's Kevin Wagner over in New Jersey.
Thank you, Kevin Wagner.
Dude, this is the coolest thing. James and I were laughing because you sent an envelope with an envelope inside with fucking cash through the mail.
We were like,
he sent cash.
It's like somebody's 90-year-old grandmother. It's beautiful. And you wrote the note on the envelope, which is what my grandmother would do to save paper, which is awesome.
Incredible.
We were impressed with that. But thank you so much, honestly. Goddamn it, heartfelt.
Sam Pulley or Pulloy. Can't tell if that's an E or an O. I'm so sorry, Sam. Emily Job, Aaron Tanner, and Samantha Law. You guys this week was fantastic. And I can't thank all of you guys for showing up to comedy shows for us, coming out to support us personally.
Thank you guys, honestly.
Face-to-face time is fucking amazing. I love every second of it. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you want to listen to me tweet dumb jokes, you can find me at Wisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Thank you guys for following and playing along. It's been this ride is incredible. So thank you.
It really is. Thank you guys so much. You guys not only have just given us something that we love to do that we're happy people like, but you've given us control over our own careers.
That's fucking incredible.
For a comedian, man, that's all you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You try for fucking years and years and years to try to have any control over your own career, and you don't get it.
Ever.
And it takes years, and usually you have to be on some big TV show or in a movie or something before you get that. And you guys are helping us have that from a podcast. So thank you to podcasts. Thank you guys so much for everything. You've made You've made this just incredible, this whole journey for us, and we're never going to stop, damn it. You can get a hold of me at Jimmy P is Funny, or try to find out where the I is in my last name and spell that. Good luck to you. Just copy and paste it from the show description. Don't be a hero. But everybody, I got to tell you guys, live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we'll see you next week.
Bye! Web support for Crime and Sports is brought to you by WebandWriter.com. If you're looking to build a website, go over to WebandWriter.com. They build websites that look great on all screens, graphics, logos, engaging content. Go over to WebandWriter.com or go over to Facebook.com/WebandWriter. They'll build you an unbelievable website at a very fair rate. They'll build you a very great website. Go see them. WebandWriter.com.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.